Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Well, students have returned to the classrooms, and there is a new study from Gallup and the Walton Family Foundation. And it finds that student engagement is at a 3-year high. That's great news. I mean, half of high schoolers now say school lets them do what they do best. That's up from 40% just a few years ago in 2023. But here's the thing. Many students say their coursework isn't challenging or relevant. And they are also saying they haven't learned anything interesting recently. Let's talk more about this study from Gallup and the Walton Family Foundation with Romy Drucker. She is with the Walton Family Foundation. And Romy, I was looking at this, I was prepping for this interview. I found it very unusual. And I kind of want to do a little bit of a deep dive into that study. Tell us more. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Andrew. Yes, the study is really important in helping us better understand what students are looking for in their school experiences. 56% of students say they feel ready for the future, but too few feel good about their everyday lives. What we know is that school can be a place that closes that gap by being a spark, helping students feel inspired and engaged, but something needs to change about school to do that.
It's so fascinating to me, so interesting. And so tell us what needs to change. Does it need to be tougher? Does it need to be more relevant? What do you think?
The number one factor we consistently hear from students is relevant. Make my learning and my experience relevant to the world of work and to the challenges and opportunities I'll face in the future. Only 37% of Gen Zers say their learning in school feels connected to the real world. We need to make school a place that brings in experiences and exposure to the world of work, but also gives students the skill sets and mindsets to thrive in their lives more generally. Students are asking for that.
You know what? I can understand that in a way that my kids have moved on to college and afterwards. My daughter just graduated. And I remember them saying, you know, I'm not going to use this in my real life and my profession and what I'm going to do. Why am I learning it now? And I often thought, well, maybe they should focus on, you know, more financial news, more business news, more how to stay financially afloat, investments, that sort of thing. Is that where something like this is headed towards? What do you think, Romy?
There's a school in Memphis called Power Center Academy that's doing this really well, creating interdisciplinary projects and opportunities for students to connect with information and experiences that feel relevant to the jobs of the future. So it's not just learning math and social studies and English, but it's doing that in a context that really bridges to opportunities and challenges students will face in their futures, making it relevant to career, making it relevant to how students will apply that knowledge in college and beyond. Students are saying they want learning to feel connected to the real world, and that's a message we need to rally around as educators and communities.
I love that, and thank you for pointing out that Memphis connection there, Romy. What else can schools do to better connect with students and real-world careers long-term?
One thing we know from this data is that teachers are absolutely a difference maker. Students are telling us that loud and clear. 78% of students say that when teachers make their learning more fun and engaging, they feel more inspired and hopeful about their future. So supporting teachers, really nurturing that human connection between students and teachers is everything. So we need to make sure that we have the right supports in place for teachers so that they can do what they do best.
Really appreciate this discussion, Romy. Where can people go if they want to learn more about the study and perhaps solutions to this disconnect?
You can learn more at waltonfamilyfoundation.org/Gen Z study.
All right, Romy Drucker with the Walton Family Foundation. Thanks for coming on the Digital Desk and talking about a very important issue. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We have a big celebration. It's a 3-day celebration coming up to mark B.B. King's 100th birthday. And wow, if he were alive today, wouldn't that be amazing? A 100th birthday. Joining me now to talk more about this incredible celebration, I'm joined on the Action News 5 Digital Desk by Chris Patt, one of the organizers and managers of the B.B. King birthday celebration. So, Chris, tell me all about it. It sounds like a lot of fun based upon what I'm looking at. It looks like a great time. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Andrew. Look, this is the event that's set for a king, okay? This is festive, very fun, and it's going to start with a bang. It's going to start with an amazing block party. September the 14th, this actual coming up Sunday, September the 14th, and it's going to start out with the bang. I got my man Stan Bell. He's on the ones and twos. I had to have an amazing DJ to get the party started. And then I'm going to have the Stax Music Academy, along with the B.B. King Museum All-Stars from Indianola, Mississippi. They're coming down here, and they have a collaborative show. It's so amazing how it's put together. So we're going to start it out with the bang right downtown on Beale Street. We got a stage being set up. The production is going to be absolutely amazing. We got the Grizz Line. We got the Beale Street Flippers. We have Whitehaven High School marching band, all 160 of them coming down. We got plenty of buses for them. Look, it's going to be an amazing event. And also we have B.B. King's godson, Rod Bland, Bobby Blue Bland's son. He's going to have an amazing presentation. We got Corey Lou and the Village. They are an amazing young group. We also have Mr. Sip is coming. Mr. Sip, if you haven't heard of him, this guy is absolutely amazing. And then we have Memphis' own, bringing up the rear, Mr. Eric Gales, which Sunday will actually be Mr. Eric Gales' day. Okay, so we're going to have an amazing, beautiful celebration on September the 14th. Now, September the 16th is going to be dinner and a show right there at B.B. King's, right there in the heart of Beale Street. And we have some amazing artists coming on that day as well, i.e. Mr. Bobby Rush. He's going to do a once-in-a-lifetime performance in tribute to his friend, Mr. B.B. King. And you do not want to miss any of this stuff that's going on, because I promise you, it's a once-in-a-lifetime celebration only fit for our king of the blues, Mr. B.B. King.
Absolutely. What a legend. And, you know, when he passed away several years ago, Chris, I remember seeing all the posts online from so many Memphians, Mid-Southerners, people from across the country who had interactions with B.B. King. And it was so sweet and so nice. And he was just that sweet soul, that kind-hearted person, in addition to being a legendary blues artist and someone that we love to call a Memphian, and we're proud for him and what he did for Memphis, putting us on the map there with the blues. Tell me about the beginnings and the planning for this kind of celebration, because you know it takes an extraordinary amount of planning to put this all together.
Absolutely. This has been about a year, a work in progress. Of course, we know, like as you said, Andrew, this is a world event. So we wanted to make sure we captured the true essence of what B.B. King was all about. And we wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything or anybody, okay? Because he was loved by many and many loved him. So we wanted to incorporate as many people as we absolutely could and fit them in and pack them in this amazing show in celebration to the king of the blues, okay? So we, along with myself, along with the B.B. King's Museum in Indianola, and along with Memphis Tourism, along with so many different partners and people to help sponsor this event, Memphis Drum Shop. So many people are helping us bring this event to light. And look, we thank them. Of course, we got a large sponsorship package and partnerships, and we really appreciate everybody who has helped us so far, and all of the ground teams, and John Shivers, everybody that's doing an amazing job. And my personal team, they've been on me. It's like, hey, Chris Patt, do you need anything? So I'm definitely grateful, and we're thankful to all of the news outlets that's been helping us promote this amazing event as well too, like yourself. So we really appreciate what has been happening and how all of this has come together. So we're really excited about this. We're very excited about it.
Yeah, I would. Yes, we're all excited for this celebration because it looks fantastic. If someone is watching, we have thousands of people who watch us each and every morning, Chris, on the digital desk. And if someone is watching and they want to be a part of some of the events you have planned over the course of 3 days there, September 14th, 15th, and the 16th, what do they need to do?
Just go to bbking.com. All of the information is there. Tickets for the 16th are there. Information about September the 14th is also there. Y'all just come down. I tell you, it's a free block party. We're gonna have plenty of security, gated check-ins, as well as metal detectors everywhere. So we're gonna be very safe. It's gonna be an amazing event that you can bring your family out to. We're gonna have face painting. We're gonna have all of the festive events on the 14th, and the 16th is gonna be upscale, black tie, elegant for you to come down. You and your wife, you and your partner, you and anybody who want to come down. People who just love the blues. Y'all just come down and just celebrate the king of the blues, Mr. B.B. King.
That sounds fantastic. And of course, B.B. King's Blues Club, just iconic there on Beale Street, downtown Memphis. Anything else before we let you go, Chris?
Well, we love music and we love amazing American music, and we want to do a really good contribution to the music style here in Memphis, from the home of the blues, from the king of the blues. So you just get ready to have an amazing once in a lifetime event like this downtown, BB King's, and let's just celebrate the king of the blues. So we can't wait to see everybody there.
That sounds fantastic. Chris Pat joining us on the digital desk, talking about the big birthday bash for B.B. King. He would have been 100 years old, and the events happening September 14th, 15th, and 16th. Chris, thanks for coming on the digital desk. We appreciate it, letting us all know about this bash. Good luck with everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. Health problems and health issues happen all the time to all kinds of Americans every day of every year. But sometimes when certain health issues happen to certain people, they can shed a bigger light, a bigger focus on some of the issues associated with it to make people more aware of their health and their health journey. Joining me on the Action News 5 digital desk, I am joined by an NFL legend, Barry Sanders, Hall of Fame running back, someone that so many football fans enjoyed watching in college and in pro. And here he is joining us now on the Action News 5 digital desk. And Barry Sanders, so great to have you with us and talking with us about not only football, because I'd like to get into that just a little bit, but I want to begin with a little bit about your health journey and something that happened last year that happens to so many of Americans. I understand you had a heart attack. Can you take me through what happened and where you are now? Good morning.
Appreciate it. Good morning, Andrew. Yeah, for me, it was a little bit over a year ago. I woke up. I had sort of a mild sort of burning feeling in my chest. I assumed it was heartburn or something like that, or something I ate or whatever. I just kind of tried to shake it off. And then just after it persisted most of the day, I drove myself to the emergency room. And then they proceeded to run tests on me. And they discovered that I had had a heart attack. And so I didn't know anything about high LDL-C or bad cholesterol, anything like that. But that's how it presented itself in my case, and many cases are different. And so yeah, it kind of led me on this journey.
Were there any symptoms leading up to it, Barry? I mean, what was it like prior to, maybe a couple of days before, the night before?
Not that I can recall. I don't remember there being any symptoms in my case. Like I said, everyone's different. That's why I encourage people certainly to have that conversation with their doctor about LDLC or bad cholesterol. The only way to find out about your LDLC is to talk to your doctor and get tested. So it's definitely important that you do that, and that's why I was fortunate enough to join with Amgen on this documentary called "The Making of a Heart Attack," so people get an understanding on sort of different stories, different cases of how these things present, how they happen. And sometimes it's hereditary, which it's not necessarily something you're doing. So if people want to find out more about that, they can go to attackheartdisease.com/documentary and watch watch it, and you hear about my story, like I said, and as well as others, and just kind of see kind of get a broad picture of how heart attacks and strokes do happen.
What advice do you have for folks out there, around your age or perhaps younger that, think that they're in good shape, they're in good health, and they don't think it's going to happen to them?
Yeah, I think that's sort of a common theme, and so that's why it's important to encourage people to go see their doctor and have the conversation, because it really doesn't have much to do with your age or weight or anything like that. You really need to have that bad cholesterol tested, and the only way to do that is to see your doctor, because it happens so often in so many places where we would not expect, and so that's why it is important for people to have that conversation with their doctor, because I was one who I didn't understand bad cholesterol, high LDLC, and I felt like I was relatively healthy as well.
Where can we see the making of a heart attack, this documentary?
Yeah, you can see the making of the heart attack, the making of a heart attack. You can see that at attackheartdisease.com/documentary. And again, you'll hear my story. You'll hear the story of 4 other individuals who suffered heart attack and/or stroke. And I think you'll be surprised. I mean, it's some really inspiring stories, but very educational. And it really does a good job of explaining, how these things are very unpredictable. It can happen anywhere. And so you really need to be in touch with your doctor, as we all have those conversations with our doctor about other things. And so this is one of those conversations you should have as well.
It's not every day I have an NFL legend on the Action News 5 digital desk. I'm a huge football fan, so and I see on those commercials all the time, the Heisman commercials. Very funny. You do a great job. Tell me what you're watching for, both in the college football side of things and the NFL, particularly. Are you still a big Detroit Lions fan?
Absolutely. I'm still a big Detroit Lions fan. It was kind of a tough weekend college-wise. I went to Oklahoma State. We we played Oregon and wasn't a very good game. And then living in Michigan, took a tough loss as well to the Sooners. And certainly, the Lions had a tough game yesterday against the Packers. But we're still hoping for big things for the Lions. We know that it was only week 1. Packers played inspired. Obviously, the big news of Micah Parsons coming over with them, and so the good thing is we get to see him again at some point. But we got to reload this week and get ready for the Bears.
Absolutely. Who's your Can you predict maybe who's going to be in the Super Bowl, and who's your favorite in the college football race?
Oh yeah, well, Super Bowl wise, hey, we're hoping that the Lions will be there. We know that it's going to be a tough fight in the conference. I mean, you got to look at the Eagles as the favorite. We were knocked out last year by the Commanders. And there's a couple other teams. Obviously, you look at the Vikings in our same division. We just played the Packers yesterday. So we know we got our work cut out for us. I'm hoping for something like a Bills Lions Super Bowl or something like that. College wise, I pull for all the Michigan teams, and obviously, like I said before, I went to Oklahoma State. I'm excited about all the changes going on in college. I mean, I like the fact that living here in Michigan in Big Ten country, the last 2 years, Big Ten teams have won national championships. Right? We'll see how that changes. We know that the SEC is always going to have something to say about the national championship race, and we'll see. We'll see if the Big Ten can continue to hold those guys off.
Awesome. Well, listen, NFL legend Barry Sanders joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. Thank you for your message about heart attacks and health and the making of a heart attack, your documentary. Congratulations on a Hall of Fame career. Pleasure to talk to you, and thanks for taking a few minutes to join us on the digital desk. We appreciate your time.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. I had an amazing time at the Overton Park Shell Saturday night. There was a nice music festival going on. Of course, I learned about it through our next guest. And wow, between the weather and the music and the atmosphere, it did not disappoint. It was wonderful. We talk about it each and every week, Shelby Smith. And wow, it was so great at the Overton Park Shell. How are you doing this morning?
I am so great, coming off a fantastic weekend of free music at the Overton Park Shell, as you just mentioned. The Memphis Power Pop Festival, fantastic. We are always proud to partner with them. We've brought them back years and years in a row, and just a testament to their strength as band members and people that are trying to uphold this genre of power pop in the city of Memphis. It was fantastic. And like you said, the weather, it's just, I know it's fake fall. I know it's fake fall. I know we can't lean into it too much because I've seen that the temperatures are going to rise this week, but I'm holding on for as long as I can because it was truly just perfect evening.
Oh, yeah, it was actually, I mean, it's crazy to say, but it was a little cold towards the end there. It was like lower 60s, you know? It was so good. And what's great about it is this fall concert series and this time of year, you guys have so many different events going on. So let's talk about this week.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we hit on our concerts this weekend, because obviously people want to be in the know about that, we have a fantastic health and wellness series edition this month in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. We have partnered with two amazing organizations, Darts Productions and Tradición Cultural. I want to believe that I'm pronouncing that right, so don't come for me. But we are hosting Latin Rhythms dance classes every Wednesday throughout the duration of the month. It is a $5 class For the first hour, you're going to get hands-on instruction from some wonderful, talented dancers that we host in the city of Memphis. And then for that last hour, they're actually bringing a DJ to the stage for an hour of free dance. So you get to just, practice those, the teachings that you learned throughout that first hour. It is fantastic. And again, that is a new addition, and we really, really hope that they feel the love from our community, so that they'll be more of a recurring partner for our health and wellness series. And again, that is a paid experience. A lot of our health and wellness classes are free, but we want to honor this cultural addition to our health and wellness series. So those are on Wednesdays throughout the duration of the month. I believe there are 3 Wednesdays left from now until the end of the month. So definitely make sure to check those out. But continuing on into the weekend, we have 2 fantastic concerts. On Friday, we're kicking things off with Shadowgrass, kind of more grassroots bluegrass vibe, fantastic performers. Really excited to bring them out to kick off this weekend of concerts. And then headed into Saturday, I am super excited for this show. It actually was canceled, I believe, last summer. It was just, rain, not our biggest fans, but no rain in the forecast thus far this week. And it's Luca, a hometown hero, fantastic, raw, hip hop energy. I've been so excited to see Luca take the stage. He released, I believe, a new album towards the beginning of the year. And so people kind of get to get an idea of his sound and really embed themselves in the new music that he's bringing to the city of Memphis and beyond. So super excited for that concert. Again, September the 12th and 13th of this weekend, the Orion Financial Free Concert Series continues. And again, it's going to be a little warmer this weekend, but no rain in sight. So we're excited to bring people back to the lawn.
No question about it. Yeah, the rain is key, and lack thereof on a Friday and Saturday makes those concerts so enjoyable. Such a great benefit to have Overton Park Shell and you and your entire staff working so hard to make it free for everybody else. And then you got Shell Yak coming up, right around the corner.
Right. We are I think we're almost less than a week out, which is wild to believe. We booked that concert back in April, so we're almost here. But we are bringing, and again, a very talented act that I've been super excited for, and I think the city of Memphis is going to be pumped. He's bringing his Mississippi raw hip hop energy to the stage on September 18th. We are bringing out Big Crit, and it is a part of our Shell Yeah benefit series. Now, all of our free concert series, as we all know, are free, but those do not come free for us. They are all paid expenses. We make sure that their production teams are paid, that our production teams are paid, that the artists are paid well, that our vendors are paid well. So a lot of these things, they do have a financial responsibility to them. And so in partnership with Menfo Presents and Orion Financial, they actually are a part of this series as well, but we're able to empower our free shows through our benefit series. So those tickets run around $40 to $50. Definitely make sure you go ahead and buy them before you get to the lawn. Either way, you're going to have to go through Ticketmaster to do so. So it makes things so much easier when you buy in advance. And again, Big Crit, September 18th, super excited. And all of those proceeds go towards bringing more free music experiences to the city of Memphis. So it's a win-win. You get to enjoy music throughout the duration of the year and just hopefully for the next 90 years as we're moving forward to celebrating our 90th anniversary next year.
Absolutely. All right, Shelby Smith, Overton Park Shell. We appreciate your time as always on the Action News 5 digital desk. Thanks for all that you and your staff do for all of us. We appreciate it. Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Got a big festival coming up here. It is the Cooper Young Festival. This is video from past years. It is Saturday, September 13th, the 37th annual Cooper Young Festival. Always a great time. So many different things, live music, food, different arts and crafts, all kinds of different things that is fun for the entire family. Joining me on the Action News 5 digital desk right now, I got Tamara Cook. She is the executive director with the Cooper Young Business Association, and she's joining me now to talk a little bit more about this year's Cooper Young Fest. Good morning, Tara. Tell me all about it.
So this is going to be the biggest Cooper Young Festival in the world. It's the 37th Guarantee Bank Cooper Young Festival. We have 445 vendors this year, which is the most we've ever had. We have artists coming in from Arizona, Canada. It's crazy. We're going to kick it off with a big O parade. We've got the Bellevue Middle School drum line under the direction of Cameron Hill. He's a great teacher there. He does wonderful work with these kids. So they're going to be kicking us off at 9 o'clock, and we'll be open at 9 o'clock. We hope everybody will come out that day and join us. We have a super big children's area that's hosted by the Pearls of Grace. All of their money goes back to a very deserving nonprofit. We have reopened our International Bazaar, and we have stuff from India, Brazil, Mexico, all over the world. You have got to check out the International Bazaar. That's what took us over the limit this year with the 445 booths. There's so much going on back there. We've got a bunch of new food vendors in. We've got a ton of painting, artists, glass, tie-dye, t-shirts. I don't know, you name it, we've got it. It's going to be super cool, super weird, super fun. We've got an amazing group of artists this year. We're on the B.B. King 100-year, celebration, and we brought in Marcella Simon. She is a Creole soul singer, and she will be our headliner.
Excellent. Yeah, so it sounds massive. It sounds so big. Is it the reason why it's bigger and better than years past? Is just because that there is a need, there is a demand for that?
I'm telling you one thing, if we could go all the way down Central and all the way down Young and Cooper, we could fill those booths. I still have a waiting list a mile long for booths. I just don't have enough room.
I understand. I was going to ask you, Tamara, what about parking? What do you recommend all the thousands of people who attend Cooper Young each and every year? Where should they park?
Well, all over the place. You're going to be parking all the way to IC on Belvedere. Every year I walk all the way down Cooper to Central and look both ways, and it's nothing but parking. All the residential streets around Cooper Young are going to be open for parking as well. We have some parking in the neighborhood, just everywhere. It's wall-to-wall parking.
Excellent, excellent. What else can we talk about with regards to this? So you said over 400 booths, all kinds of stuff, huh?
We do. We have leather, we have art, we have glass, wind chimes, insect art. I've got somebody bringing B.B. King paintings. Yeah, if you can think it, it's going to be here.
That's fantastic, and of course, all the music that people are accustomed to, and the various crowds certainly excited for the event. I can remember being there last year, Tamara, and it was crowded early on, and then as the day went on and progressed, more crowds, more people just showed up.
Right. It's a great event for our community. I just think everybody feels like they belong in Cooper Young, and that's the way we want it. Come and spend the day with us. You might turn out that you want to live here, or you want to eat at our restaurants, or you want to come and hang out on our collector's row on Young. They've got everything over there. 901 toys, 901 comics. There's Game Guide, there's just Goner Records. We have so much going on in Cooper Young. It's just hard to let everybody know everything.
Right, right. I got you. I understand. Well, listen, it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, Action News 5, of course, is a sponsor. We're looking forward to being down there as well. We got our own booth, too, to add with to be a part of the 400 plus that are going to be there as well. Tamara Cook, we really appreciate you joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. Thank you so much, and good luck on September 13th. Going to be a good time for sure. Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. Well, the summer is winding down, and certainly fall and the fall season and the feeling like fall is going to be here for a while. And, you know, you might think of when it comes to ticks that's kind of a late spring, early summer, the heart of summer, but it's still very much a problem right now. Joining me on the Action News 5 digital desk, we're talking with our friend Dr. Anna Yang at Regional One Health about the tick issue in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Dr. Yang, thanks for joining us this morning. So tell us how much of a problem ticks are this time of year. Good morning.
Sure. Good morning. Happy to be here. So it is definitely still important to remember ticks. So you're right that ticks are definitely most active in the summer seasons. So since we're getting towards fall now, it is starting to wind down a little bit, but we're actually more likely, just because of how hot it's been over the summer, to actually go out now in the fall instead of over the summer. So definitely, as people are getting outside, hiking trips, walking through wooded areas, even through just your local park, ticks are something you definitely should be aware of, because some ticks out there can actually transmit diseases.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of the problems and how dangerous a tick bite actually is.
So most tick bites don't have any infections in them. So only an infected tick that's carrying some sort of illness can pass it on to you. Once you have a tick bite, it takes time for that infection to also be transmitted to you. So the sooner you can remove the tick, the less chance that you'll get the infection, even if the tick was carrying a disease. But there are a couple of diseases that are more common in this area. The diseases definitely vary by which region. So for example, when I used to work in Pennsylvania, we were really always worried about Lyme disease up there. It was pretty common. Down in this area, we have a lot less Lyme disease. It's still here, but there's not as much of it. In this area, though, there is more Rocky Mountain spotted fever, there is more ehrlichiosis, and a couple other things.
So tell me, there's so many different ways, including like old wives' tales, of the best ways to remove a tick from a clinical perspective. Anna, what's the best way?
The absolute best way is to just take a pair of tweezers. If you have a fine tipped one, so that one has a really fine tip at the end of it, those are better. But if you don't, even a regular pair of tweezers is fine. So grasp the tick as close to the skin as you can get it, so that you can hopefully get whatever mouth parts are in the skin out at the same time. Pull straight up. So don't twist, don't, do any weird turning motions with it. Just pull straight out, and that's it. Afterwards, wash with soap water or hand sanitizer, and then get rid of the tick. Try not to, crush. If it's still alive, don't crush the tick, because then you're going to release, the blood and potential infection and things like that. But when people talk about doing other things like, trying to drown the tick or, spray the tick or do other things to try to kill the tick while it's still in your skin, those can actually make this worse. It can make the tick mad, and it can also cause it to release more potential infection inside of you. So definitely just pull it straight out with a pair of tweezers. Try not to use your fingers too, because you can't really get as good of a grasp or a pull from it. And if you can't get it out or you're having issues, then just go to your doctor. That's completely fine.
I appreciate the deep dive on that. Thank you very much. So now let's talk about preventative ways just to avoid having a tick on us altogether.
Yeah, so of course the best method of not getting a tick-borne infection is to not get a tick bite in the first place. So for those people who are going out into wooded areas where there might be tall grass or brush, definitely make sure you wear long protective clothing. Potentially even clothing treated with permethrin, which can help prevent the ticks from trying to attach. Spraying yourself with things containing DEET or picaridine are also options. And also make sure you look at your pets too, because animals that are wandering inside, it's still a warm mammal blood host that these ticks love to attach to. So pets can also get tick-borne diseases and can also bring them inside to you. And then afterwards, make sure you check everything. So check yourself, consider showering quickly, and then all of your clothes that you wore when you went outside, if you're washing them, make sure you wash them in high heat is what will kill them.
That sounds good, and so this is something where it is a problem right now. When are we in the clear? Is it like the first frost, or when can we say, okay, it's this time period, we don't have to worry about this until next spring?
Yeah, I mean, generally, as the weather gets colder and cooler, these ticks get a lot less active, and so they're not out there looking for a host to attach to suck their blood. So as the weather gets cooler, there's not a specific cutoff point, but generally, when you get to these colder, even freezing temperatures, it's a whole lot less likely.
All right, Dr. Anna Yang, Regional One Health, telling us what to do when it comes to ticks, how to prevent a tick, and ways to remove it properly from you or your family's body. We appreciate your time on the Digital Desk as always, Anna. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Well, I am here to talk to you about the Southern Heritage Classic that's coming up later this month. It is the big game between Arkansas Pine Bluff and Alcorn State, happening September 27th, but events begin a couple of days before on September 25th. And joining me now on the Action News 5 Digital Desk to talk more about the Southern Heritage Classic weekend, the founder, Fred Jones, on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Fred, nice to talk with you. So tell me about this year's Southern Heritage Classic. It's rapidly approaching. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, it's edition number 36, and we are all prepared for it. September 25 through 27. And it's the classic as usual. We have a lot of entertainment. We have a lot of great family activities, and of course the big game finale with Alcorn State and Arkansas Pine Bluff.
It certainly is about college football and Arkansas Pine Bluff and Alcorn State, but this means more than just about football. It's about coming together. It's about the events. It's about the camaraderie, isn't it?
Yes, it's become a big family reunion, fraternity, sorority reunion, friends gathering. It's a great time for the city to come together, and they seem to have rallied around this event all of these years, and I'm very pleased with that. So it's it's almost like a big gumbo with all of this. People come together with the events and what have you, but it showcases Memphis in a very positive way.
Absolutely, 100%, and it does great things for the local economy. We know that as well. Tell me the feedback you've received now, because it has gone through some iterations, some changes, especially over the last couple of years, 2-3 years. Tell me about this year specifically, what people can expect beginning September 25th.
Business as usual. We have the same formula that we've used every year with 2 HBCU schools. Of course, you mentioned about Jackson State and Tennessee State. This is the first year that we've had neither one of the schools in the event. So it's a new beginning, but it's the same thing that we've always been able to present with the Southern Heritage Classic: that family, friends, football, and a great time. And the showcase this year happens to be Alcorn State and Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Okay. Anything else you want to mention to the thousands of people who are watching us right now on the Action News 5 digital desk? Again, the Southern Heritage Classic, the game, takes place September 27th with events beginning September 25th. Anything else, Fred, before we let you go?
Well, the main thing is that for all of the information is on our website, southernheritageclassic.com. Click on events, click on whatever information that you would need. But then again, if you want some additional information, you always call us at 901-398-6655. But it's all on southernheritageclassic.com.
Okay, Fred Jones, the Southern Heritage Classic founder, joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. Thanks for taking a few minutes, Fred. We appreciate it, and good luck on that wonderful weekend coming up later this month. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us here on the Action News 5 digital desk here on a Friday, the finally Friday edition of the weather forecast. Gotta let you know of a code orange here today. Of course, that means our air quality taking a bit of a hit. It's hot, it's dry, light winds under high pressure. That's going to lead to the air quality issues. So for those who may have breathing sensitivity, COPD, asthma, things of the sort, probably don't want to do anything strenuous outside as we go through the course of the day. And I'll give you a first alert. I think that this may continue just because our pattern doesn't really change all that much through the weekend, and possibly even into the early portions of next week. Temperatures on the up and up as we go through the course of the day. Temperatures by midday getting in the mid-90s, and there might be an isolated shower or storm to go along with it as well. Let's take a look at it with our first alert futurecast. And again, through the course of the morning, just the up and up towards the lower 90s. Start to see a few more clouds beginning to build into the area as we get closer to, let's say, noontime, 1 o'clock, and there may be 1 or 2 isolated showers drifting from north to south, similar to what we saw yesterday. Many high school football games will get off without a hitch here tonight, including for our game of the week for Friday Football Fever. Whitehaven Tigers going up against the Germantown Red Devils. Upper 80s by 7 o'clock this evening, easing our way down to the lower 80s by the end of the game. Tomorrow, the Memphis Tigers taking on the Troy Trojans in the Wiregrass of Southeast Alabama. 11 a.m. kickoff, 81 degrees there in Troy with a fair amount of sunshine on the way to the mid-80s through the end of the game. Back here at home, we've got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, and of course really all the way throughout the upcoming weekend here across the Mid-South. 95 our forecast high. Of course, Cooper Young Festival going on your Saturday. You know, going back into the years that I've been here at Action News 5, the first year was hot and humid. The second year was just humid. It rained a little bit during the course of the morning hours. And then to this year, it'll be hot, but not super humid. So it's not going to be the worst in the way of humidity across the area, but definitely you'll notice that it'll be plenty hot here across the Mid-South. Football games across the region. Alcorn taking a trip up to Starkville, going up against the Mississippi State Bulldogs, 92 degrees there. 94 for the Ole Miss Rebels and the Razorbacks of Arkansas clashing in an SEC battle there in Oxford. Also another SEC battle, Knoxville, Tennessee and Georgia, 86 degrees there. Another SEC battle will be the Vanderbilt Commodores and the South Carolina Gamecocks, 84 in Columbia, South Carolina. Valley takes a trip down to southeastern Louisiana, going up against them in Hammond, Louisiana, 93. JSU and Tuskegee, 94 there in Jackson, Mississippi. UAPB will be at home as well, 97 degrees there in Pine Bluff, so plenty hot. TSU at home as well, 93 degrees in Nashville. And Iowa State Cyclones taking a road trip down to Jonesboro, Arkansas, 97 degrees there for the Red Wolves. Of course, big ridge of high pressure in control of our weather pattern, not just today, the next couple of days. That big ridge overhead. You see these trough axes, these little areas where it's kind of carved out. That's what we call an omega block. That means that there's not going to be a lot of shifting in the weather pattern in the next couple of days. So you see one here on the East Coast, see another one on the West Coast, and right in between is where we've got that big ridge of high pressure. It will not move all that much. It kind of just stays steady state, and because that will be part of our story as it moves through the weekend, right on top of us, that's when we'll probably see our bigger surge of heat. Now, keep in mind, I say a surge of heat. It's not going to be like what we saw a couple of weeks ago, where we're talking about feels like temperatures 110, 115 degrees. Actual air temperatures in the middle to upper 90s, not terribly far off the baseline is what you'll get for our feels like temperatures, a couple degrees warmer. Our biggest issue over the next few days will be air quality, lack of rain, low humidity, and yes, while the low humidity helps us out in the heat realm, it is not going to help us out from the standpoint of fire weather danger. I think that that's going to continue to be a big story as well. Potential rainfall in the next 7 days, not much. And of course, the drought monitor came out yesterday. Severe drought. We watched it come in right here on the Action News 5 digital desk. Gave you that first alert that we were expanded into the severe drought. And based off of what we're seeing, not just in the short term, for longer term, likely through the end of the summer season, likely below average rainfall here across the Mid-South. And you notice there's not many opportunities going forward. Highs will be middle and upper 90s, lows 60s and 70s the next couple of days. Mixture of clouds and sunshine. Next week, we might add in a few more clouds and maybe an isolated shower here or there as we get ready for hopefully a front to approach us by the time we head towards the following weekend to maybe knock us back as this ridge finally begins to buckle. Will get us back closer to average, which is in the upper 80s here into the middle portion of September, hopefully by the end of next weekend.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Well, can you believe it? The Halloran Center turns 10 years old. It feels like it's only a few years old, but yeah, it's 10. And there is a 10th anniversary celebration that's happening for several days here. In fact, it's a 3-day celebration, September 13th, 14th, and 15th. I'm joined on the Action News 5 Digital Desk by Jennifer McGrath. She is Vice President of Education, Community Engagement, and Halloran Center Programming. Jennifer, wow, 10 years. It doesn't feel that long. How are things going? Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew. I mean, things are amazing, and I think you said it. How could it possibly have been 10 years? It feels like it went by in the blink of an eye, but it has, and we are celebrating, like you said, with a 3-day extravaganza, and we're really, really excited about it.
Well, I'm so curious about what this celebration is going to look like, September 13th, 14th, and 15th. Let's hear it.
Sure. So we want to ensure that there is something for everybody. So we're kicking it off Saturday night, September 13th. It's an incredible cabaret concert. You do not want to miss this. It is called From Bluff City to Broadway and Beyond. And we are bringing back alumni of our incredible education programs that have gone on to have very successful careers in national tours, as professional recording artists in film and TV, commercials, and yes, even on Broadway. So we are welcoming back Ethan Hardy Benson, Riley Thad Young, Melissa Van Pelt, and Raneem Imam for a sort of star-studded cabaret evening that is going to take a look back through the milestones of the last 10 years and then perform and share their incredible gifts of song and stylings and talents with the community. It's a concert that you are not going to want to miss. There are tickets as low as $30 and then all the way up to a VIP experience that includes a champagne toast and a little reception afterwards with the artists. So it's definitely a concert that you're not going to want to miss.
That sounds amazing and certainly well-deserved. What else is going on?
Sunday, we are flinging the doors wide open to the Halloran Center from 1 to 5 p.m. for a free, that's right, I like to stress it, it is a free community day. We want to open our doors and say thank you to all of the incredible community members that have been engaging with the Halloran Center for the past 10 years, and also say welcome. If you haven't come before, now is the time, come on down. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be workshops and performances led by Orpheum teaching artists. Local arts partners will be there tabling and sharing about their organizations because they've been such an integral part to our 10-year story, right? We've done a lot of work to really be intentional about building relationships with the community and other arts organizations. And so those organizations will be there. We will have, we're very committed to accessibility. So of course the event is completely free. That includes free parking downtown at the Mobility Center, thanks to the Mobility Center. And I want to stress that because I know sometimes people coming downtown, even a hard event, a free event, parking can be a challenge, but we've got free parking for you. And we are committed to making sure that the event is accessible to everybody, no matter your needs. There'll be a sensory friendly chill out space. So if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed all day with everything that's going on, there's a place where you can also go and just have some downtime to chill and relax. But it's family friendly, all ages, 1 to 5 p.m. It's going to be so much fun. DJ on the plaza, sidewalk chalk, tours. I mean, the list goes on. And we really, really want people to come out and just to celebrate with us so we can say thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's September 14th. That's a Sunday. And so we have September 15th to go here. What you got planned?
Yes, on Monday, September 15th, which is actually 10 years to the day that the Halloran Center opened, which is exciting, we are going to be having a giving day. And essentially, this giving day is an opportunity for people that are connected to the Halloran Center, that believe in the work that we're doing, to make an offering, to say, hey, we believe in what you're doing, and not just what you're doing, but also how you're doing it. And we want to ensure that there are not just another 10 years, but another 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And so we're trying to say, hey, it doesn't matter how large or how small, but if you can give, if you believe, like I do, that the arts has the power to change the world, that it can be a transformative experience for somebody, that it can bring people together, it can provide hope, it can help build confidence and creativity and communication skills, it can heal us, and perhaps most importantly, it can just bring us some joy, right? If you believe that, we want to invite you to contribute and to share, to celebrate what we've done over the last 10 years, and also hopefully to ensure that we're able to do it far, far, far into the future.
That sounds amazing, Jennifer. Where can people see this information you just mentioned online?
Absolutely. All of it is found online at orpheum-memphis.com. There's a special web page. So if you click on the Halloran Center link, it'll take you to a page that says it's all happening at the Halloran Center, because it is, and we're excited about that. And you can get all the information. It's where you can purchase tickets for the Saturday evening show. It's where you can get the schedule and the rundown for the events on Sunday and the times. And it's where you can make a donation on Monday. And we also want to encourage people to shout it out on social media as well. We want to spread the word. We want to make sure everybody in Memphis and beyond knows what's going on. So feel free to tag us on social media at Orpheum Memphis. We'll be posting out a special anniversary message soon. The countdown has begun, and we encourage folks to share it and spread the word.
Absolutely. Jennifer McGrath, we really appreciate your time on the Action News 5 Digital Desk, a 10th anniversary party fit for you guys coming up September 13th, 14th, and 15th. Thanks for all that you do for downtown Memphis and overall the Mid-South. Congratulations, and look forward to that wonderful, wonderful 3-day event. We appreciate your time.
Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Taylor Tucker in for Andrew Douglas. The time now is 8:08. Remember, we have so many great live interviews scheduled for you today. It's a Friday, so we're speaking with our friends at La Prensa Latina. And of course, we are talking about the 17th annual Mark Walden 5K Walk and Run that's approaching, as well as the Memphis Public Library's Teen Art Fest and the Mid-South Fair returning. So a lot of great things that are happening right here in the Mid-South. So we're going to keep you in the know about that and give you the latest details. Plus, an NFL veteran is joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk to keep us abreast of how we can plan out tailgating. We all love tailgating, right? Especially during football season. So a lot of great things happening right here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. If you are just now joining us this morning, we do want to get you caught up on some of our top stories this morning. Police have released new photos of the suspect in Charlie Kirk's killing on Utah Valley University's campus. Take a good look at the photos we have for you right now on your screen. These close-up images show a person wearing a dark long-sleeve shirt with an American flag on the chest, a baseball cap, sunglasses, and a backpack going up and down stairs. Right now, authorities are offering a $100,000 reward for any information leading to the identification and arrest of this suspect that you see here on your screen. Now, Memphis Young Republicans hosted a remembrance for Charlie Kirk at Germantown Municipal Park just the other day. And to them, Kirk was known to attract young people and bring them into conservative politics. Supporters who were there say right now they're struggling to process what happened to a person they considered a normal conservative. Again, this is still a very active investigation as the officers and all those assisting work to find the suspect responsible for this. And an Ole Miss staff member was fired over a social media post in response to Kirk's death. Chancellor Glenn Boyce said, quote, these comments run completely counter to our institutional values of fairness and respecting the dignity of each person. That's the quote that they sent out. Ole Miss did not name the staff member or release details about the post. Of course, we're going to stay in the know about that. And many HBCUs were also were receiving or went on lockdown, I should say, across the South. Some of those schools include Hampton University, Southern University, Alabama State University, and Clark Atlanta. All campus activities and classes are canceled through the weekend. So the threats come after Charlie Kirk's death and multiple active shooter calls at several other college campuses earlier this month that turned out to be a hoax. Mayor Paul Young also vocal about this as well. Mayor Young's response, I want to pull that up so you can see that as well. Talks continue about the National Guard troops potentially being deployed to Memphis. City of Memphis Mayor Paul Young argues Memphis is already making measurable progress in bringing down crime. He said, quote, what we need most are financial resources for intervention and prevention, additional patrol officers, and case support to strengthen MPD's investigation. Well, if you were with us yesterday, a big talker that morning was that investigation in one of our Fraser Raleigh area neighborhoods where the TBI has identified the man killed while police were conducting a search warrant there for a 77-year-old. Now, around 6:15 yesterday morning, Memphis police were assisting as Bartlett Police conducted a narcotics search warrant with the Drug Enforcement Administration. Bartlett Police say during this encounter at a home on Delwood and Watkins, the suspect fired shots at officers and officers then returned fire, killing him. One officer was shot and taken to the hospital with non-critical conditions. Of course, that is one story we'll continue to stay on top of and bring you updates as we learn more. This has been a talker for several weeks now. The Austin Drummond case. Two people who were charged with helping quadruple murder suspect Austin Drummond have now had their charges dropped. De'Ara Sanders was charged with 2 counts of accessory after the fact. Tanaka Brown was charged as an accessory and faced an additional tampering with evidence charge. D.A. Goodman Jr. says her charges were dismissed, but they were also refiled against Tanaka Brown in Dyer County and refiled in Madison County for De'Ara Sanders. Austin Drummond is charged with killing a family of 4 in Lake County and abandoning their baby in a front yard in July, leading police on a week-long manhunt. That was definitely a tragic time there. Many of us were staying in the know about that investigation, but Austin Drummond is behind bars this morning. Another top story, WWE Hall of Famer and Memphis native Jerry the King Lawler back in Memphis this morning after suffering another stroke. We've learned Lawler had the stroke last Friday while at home in Florida. This is the 3rd stroke he's had in the last 7 years. Lawler had a stroke in 2018 and 2023. All events scheduled in the next month have been canceled as he works to recover. Again, those are all of your top stories this morning that you can find on our website, actionnews5.com, and we'll keep you in the know about all of those stories. And remember, you can go on our website to keep you abreast as we get that information. We always post it online at actionnews5.com. We're going to take a 60-second break, and we'll return after that. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We are cutting in with breaking news. We're learning about plans for National Guard troops to come to Memphis. Earlier this morning, President Trump made the announcement to address crime concerns. Of course, this has been a subject that has been in the talks for quite a minute now. I want to give you the additional information coming into the newsroom. President Trump says the plans have support from both Governor Lee and Memphis Mayor Paul Young. We heard from Mayor Young about the possibility. In a statement, he says, quote, effective support for Memphis comes through focused initiatives that deliver results like we have seen with the FBI, state troopers, and other law enforcement partnerships. What we need most are financial resources for intervention and prevention, additional patrol officers, and case support to strengthen MPD's investigations. He also noted a drop in crime across the city as Memphis police reported a 25-year low. President Trump says the city is deeply troubled, and we're going to fix that just like we did Washington. Right now, we are reaching out to Memphis city leaders, the governor's office, and other leaders about next steps. We'll continue to update this story as more details become available. Again, this is breaking news into the newsroom. We're learning about the plans for the National Guard troops to come to Memphis. Again, we are live on the Action News 5 digital desk, keeping you up to date on all the news coverage, even the latest and greatest interviews right here on the digital desk. Going to take a 60-second break, and when we come back, we're going to keep things rolling. Stay with us.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. Loneliness and veterans' suicidal thoughts, well, they are on the increase. According to the Wounded Warrior Project's latest warrior survey, more than 1 in 4 wounded warriors, had suicidal thoughts within the past 12 months. Research shows that strong social ties not only improve quality of life, but also serve as a critical protective factor against these kinds of things. How is mental health among our veterans? It's so important to check up on them. Joining me on the Action News 5 digital desk, I'm going to talk more about this topic with a couple of people. I have Jacob Narowski. He's an Army veteran. He's a warrior.
They're doing another interview. 5 out. We're 5 out. 5 out. 5 out. That's television for you.
Director for the Wounded Warrior Project. Thank you for both of you joining us here on the digital desk. Jacob, I want to begin with you. Tell us about your mental journey. Good morning.
Good morning. You know, my mental journey really is
Someone's doing an SMT,
it's
right?
long. It's years. Over 14.
If you like cigars and enjoy cigars, Boveda Humidor was perfect for cigar storage. Get the Boveda Humidor with patent two-way humidity control and sleep design for just $2.99. Time seasoning to get you going for the first 6 months.
The community is difficult when you're still kind of holding on to or carrying those memories that come with you. And so it's been so important for me on this journey that people have found me, friends that have kind of carried me through those moments and given me the opportunity to carry them and just to begin to build a life of connection over this journey.
Well, first off, I appreciate everything that you and your family have done for this country, what you've sacrificed, because there's so many veterans that sacrifice so much to defend what this country stands for overseas. How important was human connection to your overall recovery, Jacob?
Human connection for me, and like for so many other veterans, is absolutely vital. There has to be somebody that tells you when the demons are lying, as I sometimes say. You have to have people around you that can remind you of your worth, remind you that you're important, that you still have a mission, that there's still more for you to do. And so for me, having those brothers and sisters nearby and having those check-ins has just been absolutely vital. And then learning that I can be the one checking on them as well.
Lindsay, I want to thank you, Jacob. Lindsay, I want to talk with you. And listen, Wounded Warrior Project, it is such an amazing organization, and thank you for all that you do for all the veterans out there. You work specifically in the mental and brain health services. Tell me, when it comes to the biggest challenges that veterans face, what are some of those big challenges out there?
Yeah, great question. So if you take when somebody's transitioning back into civilian life and you look at some of those challenges, you have a situation where somebody was in a very structured environment. They had a support system built in of folks that were like-minded, that, you know, they can relate to and are doing the same things. And they had a clear sense of mission and purpose. And then that disappears. They then start to transition out. They lose that sense of purpose. They lose that sense of mission while they're trying to navigate, where are my benefits? What is my family dynamics, my financial situation? What's going to be my next job? And that can be a very overwhelming time for a veteran. And they may also be experiencing, you know, symptoms of PTSD on top of that. And so having connection during that time is going to be so critical. Having that support system of like-minded individuals that might be going through it with you, or that have already went through it and can help shepherd, or as Jake said, be the one carrying you. You know, you mentioned our survey. Our survey showed that for wounded warriors who had listed isolation or that lack of connection as a symptom that they were experiencing, they were 3 times more likely to have had suicidal thoughts in the past 12 months. So connection is key.
No question about it. Jake, I really appreciate you opening up, telling your story to help others. Lindsay, quickly, where can, if perhaps one of our viewers has a family member who's struggling right now, where can they go for help?
I think it's great that you mentioned family member, right? You do not have to be a mental health expert to help somebody who's struggling or to help yourself if you're struggling. I'd recommend going to woundedwarriorproject.org. We're there to support. We stand by ready to connect you to programs, connect you to services, and help build that foundation of connection.
All right, Jacob and Lindsay, we appreciate your time here on the Digital Desk. God bless you both, and thank you for your time.
Hi guys, how are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
1, 2. Perfect. Sounds good. So excited to have you on the Digital Desk. We are 40 seconds out, and I'm going to take you, all right?
You got it. Is this Taylor?
This is Taylor. Mr. Hodge, let me make sure I have your name correctly. Is it Merle Hodge? Correct me.
Yeah, Merrill Hodge. Like Merrill Lynch.
Hodge.
Bullish on America.
Merle Hodge. All right, see you in a few.
Thanks, Taylor.
Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I have a friend here joining us on the DD. It's the NFL vet, Merrill Hodge, joining us, and he has a spread in front of us, and he's going to explain why he has this spread, because we're talking about ways to tailgate, one of the best times of the year, right? When you think of football, you think of tailgating, but how can you take it over the notch, right? He's here to spell that all out for us. Good morning to you, and what is in front of you? I don't even know where to start here.
Yeah, well, Taylor, thank you very much. Here's where we should start, the Boveda Humidor. Now, if you have cigars, you like cigars, like a humidor is a critical component, and on game day, it's a must-have. The Boveda Humidor is perfect for cigar storage, which is critical. Get the Boveda Humidor with patent two-way humidity control and sleek design, just $2.99. It requires no maintenance, unlike other conventional humidors. And the Boveda Humidor comes with a one-time seasoning to get you going for the first 6 months and comes with an auto-replenishing option. But this is a bad boy. It's clean and beautiful. And then snacks, Hellmann's. The reason people show up is because of the snacks, right? You got to have a good game day tailgate. You got to have snacks. And having great dip is important. And it's critical that you have Hellmann's Disappearing Buffalo Chicken Dip. The secret ingredient is obviously Hellmann's mayonnaise. Get the recipe at Hellmann's.com. Here's where Hellmann's stands out from the others. Hellmann's does not get oily or separate. It holds up through heat and time, and it stays craveable from kickoff to the final snap. And then to add, Borden cheese. Comfort Foods unite us all. Fan favorite, make your own grilled cheese bar. That means you add things like meats, carrots, tomatoes, avocados. You got to be creative. In a recent grilled cheese survey showed 1 in 4 Americans prefer using mayonnaise instead of butter for grilled cheese crust. In this room, it was 2 for 2. But who doesn't like a grilled cheese with Borden American cheese melts or Borden jalapeno? It's better with Borden. And then we got to watch the game, right? So an LG OLED, this line goes up to 83 inches. That's a 48 inch and it's beautiful. And then the secret play of the day is ice cream cake. Carville, Campbell Cake, get your ice cream cake at local stores or go to iloveicecreamcake.com. So Taylor, there it is for game day. You got every option possible. And now you just hope it's a good game and you have a great day.
Even if it's not a good game, that spread will certainly
True
put you
story.
in a great mood for sure.
True
All right,
story.
Before I let you go, I know you have a spread there. Is anything there your absolute favorite?
Actually, the humidor. You know, because I know how critical
okay.
getting a good humidor is. And listen, that might be between the dip too, because I love dip. And then having a good dip the entire game, another critical component. So those might be my 2 faves.
Can't beat that. We always love a great dip. I'm a spinach dip type of girly. All right, before we let you go, you gave us a lot of information here. If we wanted to learn more, is there anywhere we can go to get that additional information just so we can have all the notes we need when it comes to tailgating?
Absolutely. BovedaHumidor.com for the humidor, Hellmann's.com for recipes and Hellmann's mayonnaise, and then BordenCheese.com for creative options, and LG.com, and then the secret one, iloveicecreamcakes.com. That'll get you all the options that you could possibly need, and everybody who walks into your building or your tailgate is going to go like this. I hit a home run.
Certainly hit a home run. We hit a home run having you here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Thanks so much for joining us, and you got us ready, and we are ready for game day and all the great games happening here in the Mid-South and around. Thanks so much, okay?
Thanks, Taylor.
Alrighty, guys, taking you outside this morning, a live look over downtown Memphis at 8:28. So much happening on the digital desk. We'll break that down for you when you see us again.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. There is a brand new book that is out right now on newsstands, and it is about baseball, Major League Baseball, 100 years ago in the Roaring 20s. And the man who wrote this book is joining me now on the Action News 5 digital desk. Thomas Wolfe joining me on the digital desk to talk about baseball in the Roaring 20s, the Yankees, the Cardinals, and the captivating 1926 season. Thomas, nice to meet you. Tell me what was behind you writing this book, kind of a historical, significant book, isn't it? Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for inviting me. I'm always glad to get up and talk about baseball, especially baseball in the 1920s and 1930s. I think two of the very best eras from Major League Baseball. What got me started on writing about 1926, oddly enough, was having written a book about the 1932 season. It's called The Called Shot and focused on Babe Ruth's called shot in the World Series of 1932 with the Yankees against the Cubs. And the Cubs, of course, during most of the 1932 season were managed by Rogers Hornsby, but he was fired in August in the middle of the pennant race. So in doing my research for 1932, I had to go back into the baseball histories of both Babe Ruth and Rogers Hornsby, and discovered that in 1926, Hornsby's Cardinals and Ruth's Yankees played in a very dramatic 7-game series. So what really got me started was the fact that I could finally write about the collision really of these two baseball greats and their careers, which happened in the World Series in 1926. So that's what drew me back. That's what got me started.
That sounds amazing. Certainly, I mean, such iconic figures. I mean, especially Babe Ruth. I mean, you know, you think about baseball around that time period, you can't help but think about Babe Ruth. And what I like, it's interesting, is that, you know, outside of the baseball diamond, so many different things happening in our country. Tell me how much that plays a part in the book.
Yeah, I wanted to make it clear to readers that, you know, a baseball season doesn't exist without some context. And the context in 1926 was that game was played in the middle of one of the most fascinating decades. Americans generally felt very optimistic about the future. They were relatively prosperous. 7 years had passed since the end of World War I. The Depression wasn't yet quite on the horizon. The end of the Roaring 20s kind of came to a crashing halt in 1929. But Americans were very exuberant because of radio. They were more tuned into baseball than they had been in the teens, and attendance had soared, largely due, I think, to Babe Ruth and the fact that Ruth was such a dynamic and charismatic figure. But you know, going back to Ruth and Hornsby was the greatest right-handed hitter of his generation, and Ruth was the greatest left-handed hitter of his generation. So the clash between the two of them in the World Series in 1926 kind of paralleled the excitement that was evident in the culture as a whole.
Yeah, and you had names like Ty Cobb, you had newcomers like Lou Gehrig as a part of this, also making it into the book. You know, a lot of times I love talking to authors, Thomas, because there's so much they know about the craft and doing the research for something like this. I mean, you had to have learned some things that you weren't anticipating learning about. What was the biggest thing you learned, maybe unexpectedly, while doing research for this book?
Yeah, several things. I learned a lot about black baseball and black baseball history, which originally I just wanted to learn sort of for context, but then became part of the book. I also wanted to learn more about Grover Cleveland Alexander, who was really a remarkable player, wound up his career with 373 wins, and he was the hero of the 1926 World Series at age 39. So those two sort of avenues of research into Alexander's background and into baseball history really were very enlightening to me. And the third thing would be the Cobb and Speaker scandal, alleged scandal that became known to Judge Landis in 1926 and didn't impact play on the field, but certainly impacted the future of the game.
Fantastic. Okay, one more time. Baseball in the Roaring 20s, the Yankees, the Cardinals, the captivating 1926 season. Anything else you want to mention to our audience before we let you go, Thomas?
I would just like to mention to the audience that baseball was played kind of in parallel universes in 1926, and that there's a largely unwritten story about black baseball. I've tried to give a little window into that era and into black baseball in this book. But keep in mind that baseball in the 1920s was very different than baseball in the 2025 season, 2026 season coming up. So the eras are different. The charismatic figures of the 1926 are still the charismatic figures and the icons that we look back to. But there's a lot of baseball history that exists outside of what we know of as the white major leagues.
All right. Thomas Wolfe, the author of Baseball in the Roaring 20s. We appreciate your time on the Digital Desk. Thank you very much, and congratulations on the book. We appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. The NFL season has kicked off for the most part. It's football season, and we are here for it. I mean, it took forever to get here, and finally it's here. Here's the thing. Adults across the country projected to wager legally billions of dollars this NFL season. And so right now there's a national campaign dedicated to promoting game literacy, consumer education, and responsible gaming. With that much money involved in the college football season and the professional football season, it's important to have a plan out there. Joining me now to talk about that and more, we are joined on the Action News 5 Digital Desk by Joe Maloney. He is with the American Gaming Association, and he's here to tell us about this new campaign and a little bit of data when it comes to how much Americans are legally wagering this NFL season. Joe, good morning to you. Let's talk about some of the numbers, some of the data that you're seeing. Good morning.
Good morning. Let's jump right into it. $30 billion in legal wagers this season on the NFL. That's an 8.5% increase from last season's estimated handle. So we're definitely seeing a lot more engagement, a lot more excitement. And look, football is king in this country, so this enthusiasm is entirely expected.
There's no question about it. I know I'm not alone when there are so many people, our audience, that love football season. We've been waiting forever, and it's finally here. Thank goodness for that. What are the trends that you are seeing, Joe, when it comes to engagement in sports betting? You know, over the last few years, Joe, it's no secret. I mean, with all the advent of legalized gambling, various apps out there, it seems like people not only watch the game, but they wager on several games each and every year.
That's right. So 2/3 of American adults actually now live in a legalized jurisdiction. And for the first time at the start of an NFL season, Andrew, we're not looking back and saying additional states came online. This is the first time where we're not seeing new legalized jurisdictions going into an NFL season. So we're still seeing an increase. That's saying that there's more consumer trust right now with legalized wagering. This activity is out of the shadows. It's fully transparent. It's legalized. And individuals are just seeing it as an opportunity to up their engagement. As you know, we're watching games now on 2 screens. We've got our fantasy football roster in our hand, a bet or two while we're watching it on television or at a bar, or we're inside the stadium and we're checking the same thing. So our industry is meeting consumers where they are, having this accessible. Over 97% of legal wagers in this country take place on a mobile device. So we now have the opportunity as well to talk about responsibility and how to do this activity responsibly.
Yeah, let's dive into that, because a lot of people think it's almost an oxymoron, a paradox, if you will. Responsible gaming? Come on now.
Sure. And again, this is why we really, really stress the importance of having a game plan. We have haveagameplan.org, where your audience can go and learn about the important tips around responsible betting. Yes, gambling is inherently a risk-taking activity, but you want to do it in a means in which you're comfortable. That means set amounts that make sense for you, time limits on apps, and other things you can do to help promote positive play.
Let's talk about that a little bit further. How can Americans bet responsibly this season, Joe?
Sure. So first off, bet legally. Make sure you're in a legal regulated app or you're in a legal retail setting. And one sign that you can probably tell if you're at an illegal offshore website is if they're only taking your credit card, Andrew, and they're not asking for any age and identity verification. So that's one. 2, going back to that budget, stick to a budget. And if you go over it, it's time to step out of the app or step out of the retail setting. 3, take the time to understand the terms and the terminology, know the odds, as we like to say, understand what a favorite is, a heavy favorite, a big underdog. If you choose to do parlay bets, understand what those mean and how long your odds are to sort of nailing those down. 4th, keep it fun. This is a social activity. Do this with friends as well. And then finally, keep your cool. The result of a bet is just not an invitation to criticize an athlete online or a coach online. This should just be a stress-free, not anxiety-inducing exercise. And you can go to haveagameplan.org to pick up those tips.
All right, Joe, I appreciate you coming on the digital desk to talk about that. Very helpful as football season kicks into high gear. We appreciate your time on the digital desk, Joe. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. We have an amazing event each and every year coming to Memphis. It is the St. Jude Memphis Marathon, and there are so many people that make it happen, including some 3,500 volunteers. Joining me on the Action News 5 digital desk, I am joined right now by Krista Flanagan. She works at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, Community Relations Volunteer Director. The Memphis Marathon is set for December 6th, Krista, so tell us how preparations are going. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Preparations are going really well. December is going to be here before we know it, but you know, this is such a special event. When Danny Thomas envisioned all those years ago that no child should die in the dawn of life, and now here we are with this event, which is St. Jude Memphis Marathon Weekend presented by Jude's Plus. We have 23,000 runners, and like you talked about, 3,500 volunteers, cheer stations, spectators, sponsors, everybody coming together for that vision and making this the largest single-day fundraiser for the kids and families of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So it is a very, very special event for us and for the whole community of Memphis.
Yes, there's no question about it. It is something that everyone gets excited about, certainly on December 6th of this year. So let's talk about how volunteers can be a part of the process. Once again, how can they sign up?
Right. So volunteer registration is currently open. There are more than 90 volunteer positions, if you can believe that start in mid-November in terms of pre-preparation activities. And then we move to the Health and Fitness Expo, where volunteers can help with packet pickup, shirt distribution, all sorts of jobs there. And then you can imagine on race day, everything from the start line all the way on the course to the finish line to the finish festival, handing out food and beverage. And so, again, like we talked about, volunteer registration is currently open. It's stjude.org/marathon volunteer. And we welcome individuals, we welcome groups, we welcome business teams of colleagues, the great thing about this event is there is a position for everyone. And so it's a simple registration process, and we would love to have everybody come out and celebrate and do this work with us.
You know, every time it comes, and there is just so many people, and I know you see this firsthand, Krista. There's just so many people that just want to be out there, wave, and root everybody on. And that's part of the process too, right? To have volunteers that just root on those runners.
You are absolutely correct. So we call that our Cheer Station program. And so we work with groups of all sizes, from 5 to 6 people who are family members who want to come out, to patient families whose children have been treated by St. Jude, all the way up to businesses and corporations and fraternities and sororities. And so we have a simple form that they can fill out and let us know that they want to come. We'll designate a spot for them on course. We'll make it simple. We'll give them all the cheer items, pom-poms, poster making supplies, all the fun things that they can use. But as you can imagine, our runners, especially those going the longer distances, really need that cheering on. And our St. Jude Heroes program, which is our runners who do the fundraising, who help us raise that $16 million, they really need that help to be cheered on too. And so it's a really special program that we've created, that if you don't want to run, if you're maybe not interested in committing to be a volunteer, just come out along the course and really celebrate with us. We're trying to create this event as it's the first Saturday in December every year for Memphis, and it's a celebration not only of St. Jude, but of the city of Memphis. We have people coming from all 50 states, 20 plus countries, and this is really maybe the first time they see the city of Memphis, and it's an opportunity for us to get out there and show them what's so special.
No question about it, and we're so proud to have such a gem like St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in our backyard, being here each and every day, and having the Memphis Marathon, having the St. Jude Dream Home, all these different events. Such a great mission statement, looking and providing cures for so many families out there, for so many young children. Anything else you want to mention before we let you go, Krista? I guess let's mention once again the website where people can sign up.
Yes, it's stjude.org/marathon volunteer. And, we can kind of give an insider tip to all your viewers. So whether they're running, volunteering, or cheering, this is the year to get in, because next year's our 25th anniversary. And so those people that participate in those methods this year will get kind of first dibs to be part of the 25th anniversary, which is going to be so much more special this year. It's always a special event, but we know next year is going to be really important to us. So get in now.
All right, Krista Flanagan, volunteers needed for St. Jude Memphis Marathon. It is December 6th, so it'll be here before we know it. We really appreciate you coming on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Thank you, Krista, and all the best for that December 6th weekend. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. We appreciate being on with you.
Thanks for joining us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk here on a Friday, the finally Friday edition of the weather forecast. Gotta let you know of a code orange here today. Of course, that means our air quality taking a bit of a hit. It's hot, it's dry, light winds under high pressure. That's going to lead to the air quality issues. So for those who may have breathing sensitivity, COPD, asthma, things of the sort, probably don't want to do anything strenuous outside as we go through the course of the day. And I'll give you a first alert. I think that this may continue just because our pattern doesn't really change all that much through the weekend, and possibly even into the early portions of next week. Temperatures on the up and up as we go through the course of the day. Temperatures by midday getting in the mid-90s, and there might be an isolated shower or storm to go along with it as well. Let's take a look at it with our first alert futurecast. And again, through the course of the morning, just the up and up towards the lower 90s. Start to see a few more clouds beginning to build into the area as we get closer to, let's say, noontime, 1 o'clock, and there may be 1 or 2 isolated showers drifting from north to south, similar to what we saw yesterday. Many high school football games will get off without a hitch here tonight, including for our game of the week for Friday Football Fever. Whitehaven Tigers going up against the Germantown Red Devils. Upper 80s by 7 o'clock this evening, easing our way down to the lower 80s by the end of the game. Tomorrow, the Memphis Tigers taking on the Troy Trojans in the Wiregrass of Southeast Alabama. 11 a.m. kickoff, 81 degrees there in Troy with a fair amount of sunshine on the way to the mid-80s through the end of the game. Back here at home, we've got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, and of course really all the way throughout the upcoming weekend here across the Mid-South. 95 our forecast high. Of course, Cooper Young Festival going on your Saturday. Going back into the years that I've been here at Action News 5, the first year was hot and humid. The second year was just humid. It rained a little bit during the course of the morning hours, and then to this year, it'll be hot, but not super humid. So it's not going to be the worst in the way of humidity across the area, but definitely you'll notice it'll be plenty hot here across the Mid-South. Football games across the region. Alcorn taking a trip up to Starkville, going up against the Mississippi State Bulldogs, 92 degrees there. 94 for the Ole Miss Rebels and the Razorbacks of Arkansas, clashing in an SEC battle there in Oxford. Also another SEC battle, Knoxville, Tennessee and Georgia, 86 degrees there. Another SEC battle will be the Vanderbilt Commodores and the South Carolina Gamecocks, 84 in Columbia, South Carolina. Valley takes a trip down to Southeastern Louisiana, going up against them in Hammond, Louisiana, 93. JSU and Tuskegee, 94 there in Jackson, Mississippi. UAPB will be at home as well, 97 degrees there in Pine Bluff, so plenty hot. TSU at home as well, 93 degrees in Nashville. And Iowa State Cyclones taking a road trip down to Jonesboro, Arkansas, 97 degrees there for the Red Wolves. Of course, big ridge of high pressure in control of our weather pattern, not just today, the next couple of days. That big ridge overhead. You see these trough axes, these little areas where it's kind of carved out. That's what we call an omega block. That means that there's not going to be a lot of shifting in the weather pattern in the next couple of days. So you see one here on the East Coast, see another one on the West Coast, and right in between is where we've got that big ridge of high pressure. It will not move all that much. It kind of just stays steady state, and because that will be part of our story as it moves through the weekend, right on top of us, that's when we'll probably see our bigger surge of heat. Now, keep in mind, I say a surge of heat. It's not going to be like what we saw a couple of weeks ago, where we're talking about feels like temperatures 110, 115 degrees. Actual air temperatures in the middle to upper 90s, not terribly far off the baseline is what you'll get for our feels like temperatures, a couple degrees warmer. Our biggest issue over the next few days will be air quality, lack of rain, low humidity, and yes, while the low humidity helps us out in the heat realm, it is not going to help us out from the standpoint of fire weather danger. I think that that's going to continue to be a big story as well. Potential rainfall in the next 7 days, not much. And of course, the drought monitor came out yesterday. Severe drought. We watched it come in right here on the Action News 5 digital desk. Gave you that first alert that we were expanded into the severe drought. And based off of what we're seeing, not just in the short term, for longer term, likely through the end of the summer season, likely below average rainfall here across the Mid-South. And you notice there's not many opportunities going forward. Highs will be middle and upper 90s, lows 60s and 70s the next couple of days. Mixture of clouds and sunshine. Next week, we might add in a few more clouds and maybe an isolated shower here or there as we get ready for hopefully a front to approach us by the time we head towards the following weekend to maybe knock us back as this ridge finally begins to buckle. Will get us back closer to average, which is in the upper 80s here into the middle portion of September, hopefully by the end of next weekend.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. We have an amazing
Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. We are staying on top of that breaking news. We are learning about the plans for the National Guard troop to come to Memphis. Earlier this morning, President Trump made the announcement to address crime concerns. President Trump says the plans have support from both Governor Lee and Memphis Mayor Paul Young, actually pulling up his statement now. And of course, we heard from Mayor Mayor Young about the possibility. And in this statement, he said, quote, effective support for Memphis comes through focused initiatives that deliver results like we have seen with the FBI, state troopers, and other law enforcement partnerships. What we need most are financial resources for intervention and prevention, additional patrol officers, and case support to strengthen MPD's investigation. He also noted a drop in crime across the city as Memphis police reported a 25-year low. Now, President Trump says the city is deeply troubled. We're going to fix that just like we did Washington. Right now, we are reaching out to Memphis city leaders, but we did hear from State Senator Brent Taylor pulling up his quote now. Take a look at your screen. He said, quote, public safety is the first responsibility of government. Unfortunately, Memphians and all of West Tennesseans alike are suffering from crime fatigue. I'm optimistic this deployment of National Guard personnel will make for a safer Memphis and Shelby County. Again, that is State Senator Brent Taylor releasing that statement. We are reaching out to several Memphis city leaders on their response to the National Guard coming to Memphis. We're going to post all those updates on our website, Action News 5. Keep in mind, we have a loaded digital desk run for you today. Several live interviews coming up in the next 5 minutes. We are going to talk with our friends at the Mid-South Fair, which is coming in less than 2 weeks. What you can expect. This is a long-time tradition. It's been going on for several years. What can you expect this year? Stick around and we're going to break that down for you. And remember, it's a Friday, so we're speaking with our friends at La Prensa Latina. You don't want to miss that. We're going to take a 60-second break, and we'll be back after that. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Well, we are about to embark on a familiar time during the year. Fall, we got football going on, classes are back in session, and rapidly approaching is the NBA season that kicks off in late October. We got to get hyped for the NBA season, and your Memphis Grizzlies joining me now on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We got Carly Lyons. She is Director of Promotions, Retail, Regional Marketing for the Memphis Grizzlies. And I love getting hyped for the Grizzlies, the season ahead. And wow, you are going to be all over Memphis and the Mid-South. More than 24 events, Carly. Good morning. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we're excited as well. We love getting excited for the Grizzlies season also. And yes, we are trying to be all over the Memphis Metro, engaging with fans and getting everyone excited to tip off the season on October 22nd.
Yeah, so listen, let's talk about it here because I got a number of different events here that start August 29th going through the weekend. Tell me about the ideas around this event because you're hitting Germantown, Hernando, Collierville, Lakeland, all over, right?
Yeah, that's the goal. We want to be as accessible and present to all of our fans as possible. Tipping off our events this weekend, Labor Day weekend. Levitt Shell, Overton Park Shell rather tonight. And then we'll be on Beale Street for 901 Day. And then, yeah, we're going to hit the road as far east as Rossville. We'll be in Hernando, South Haven, and everywhere in between. Some of our favorite events I'll highlight for everyone is September 20th. It's a Saturday at AutoZone Park. It's the Grizzlies game with the Redbirds. So lots of Grizz entertainment. Cedric Howard and Javon Small will be present. Cedric's going to throw out the first pitch. They'll be available for autographs. The Redbirds are going to be wearing Grizzlies themed jerseys, which the first 5,000 fans in the gate can receive a replica version of. So that's a great day. And then also Cooper Young Fest is one of my personal favorites. It feels like the whole of Memphis comes out. So that's another place that people can find the Grizzlies. We'll also be hosting a special MVP hospitality tent for our season ticket holders. And yeah, just, trying to be all the places, getting people excited to help us tip off the opening night. Really want a packed house. It's the 25th season in Memphis, and we want to start out strong, and we really would love Memphis's support.
Absolutely. So at these events, Carly, can you talk a little bit about how fun they are, what happens during the events, the hype surrounding it?
Yeah, it varies from event to event. So, fans can expect to see Claw Crew and Grizz Girls most frequently. Mascot Grizz will be present. Sometimes there's players available. We'll also be letting fans register to receive 2 free tickets to a preseason game. So if you see us out and about before, October 11th, all you got to do is just register with us and you'll receive 2 free tickets to a preseason game in your email inbox. And we really want to get people out, get them to FedEx Forum, get them excited, and make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, again, just on our screen right now, we're showing the Grizzlies fans events, more than 24 between September and October, leading up to the season opener in late October. All kinds of different fun and fanfare, and the hype squad, as you mentioned, the Grizz Girls, maybe some players show up, that sort of thing. What else can we talk about, Carly, before we let you go?
The only thing I haven't mentioned really is just open practice will be the fans' first opportunity to see the full team in action. So that's Saturday, October 4th. And hope fans come out for that. More details will be released as we get closer to October 4th. And really, I'll just mention season tickets are on sale now. Single game tickets are on sale now. So again, we just really want to pack FedEx Forum as we tip off this anniversary season and really hope to make it a good one.
All right, Carly Lyons, Grizzlies Promotional Retail Marketing Director. We appreciate you coming on the digital desk. Can't wait for the season myself. Huge Grizzlies fans right here. And I know we have plenty of huge Grizzly fans all anticipating the 25th season of your Memphis Grizzlies. Carly, thanks for coming on the digital desk. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, Andrew.
Alrighty, thanks so much. The time now is 9:01. We are going to take a 60-second break, and when we come back, we're going to keep things moving on the Action News 5 digital desk. We are standing by for a live press conference to get a briefing on the Charlie Kirk investigation. That's what you're getting a live look inside right now. Of course, we will bring you live into this presser here. That's coming up soon. Just stand by for that. Going to take a 60-second break. We'll be back then. Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. I want to get you caught up on some of our top stories that we are following here on the Action News 5 digital desk. You like basketball? Well, tomorrow is the day, or I should say football, basketball and football. If you're a sports person, this one is for you. The Memphis Tigers football team take their undefeated record on the road to face off against the Troy Trojans tomorrow. That's a big game to be on the lookout for, but we're actually going to dump out of this and go into that update that we told you about with the Charlie Kirk investigation.
County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there has been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I will share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this?" ? Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" ! Catch! ! Up arrow symbol, right arrow and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow," and a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who has worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged, reviewing videos, helping us with sending in tips, and helping us get to this point. I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case, and we're able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case. They will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process as well. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah. But I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history. With that, I will now turn the microphone over to the Director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
Thank you, Governor. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House, who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play, and we will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. But Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilized these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m., where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver to Governor Cox and his team. Last night, we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work, We have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI, and we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great, and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake field office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is a very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions, and we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Thank you, and good morning. I would just like to take a few minutes as the sheriff to express my gratitude for everybody who has played a part in this investigation. As you know, it's been a vast, a complicated, and a very, very fast-paced investigation. You're looking at people standing up here who are running on, if they got an hour's sleep in the last couple of days, they're probably lucky. It has been very taxing. It has been so impressive, speaking on behalf of the local law enforcement, to see the cooperation that we've seen in this type of case. Across the state, sheriffs, chiefs, our state partners have stepped up and have come to the call on anything that we needed. Our county chiefs have been phenomenal. Our Utah County Attorney, Jeff Gray, who's standing up here with us, has been phenomenal in leading us through this investigation. I would like to thank the federal government for their resources, their assets. Our local team here, our FBI team, has been extraordinary in helping us work through this and bring this person to justice. Most of all, I would like to thank the public, and specifically, I would like to thank the public who turned to prayers and who turned to positiveness for us. I would like to thank them on behalf of the law enforcement community, because we needed those prayers. That's what we needed to get through this. We needed your support, and you gave it to us. We needed your patience, and you gave it to us. And I would like to thank you for the Kirk family, because that's what they need, is your support and your prayers, and that will get us through all of this. So thank you, everybody, for everybody that have stepped up. We've had such a phenomenal response to this. Thank you.
I also want to give a special thanks to the Attorney General and the Department of Justice. Their unwavering support and their commitment to justice is shown true here. And without AG Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and the resources they brought to bear, we would not have been able to complete our mission. And I just want to say special thanks. It's an honor to be a part of the Department of Justice.
Thank you again to our incredible law enforcement team who has worked so hard. Sheriff, I got a solid 90 minutes last night, so I'm probably the most well-rested person up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I get the microphone, so I hope you'll permit me a moment just to share a few more thoughts about where we are and how we got here, and maybe a little bit where we go from here. I don't want to get too preachy, but I think it's important that we, with eyes wide open, understand what's happening in our country today. I've heard people say, well, why are we so invested in this? There's violence happening all across our country, and violence is tragic everywhere, and every life taken is a child of God who deserves our love and respect and dignity. This is certainly about the tragic death, political assassination of Charlie.
All right, cutting in now, you are getting a live listen into that press conference there where law enforcement teams, we heard from the director of FBI, the Utah governor, all speaking on the fact that officials can confirm that the shooter responsible for Charlie Kirk's death is in custody. Again, you are getting a look into that presser that we've been following this morning. We're going to post all these details right here on the Action News 5 website and keep you up to date on that particular investigation, but we can confirm that the shooter responsible for Charlie Kirk's death is in custody. Again, thank you so much for sticking with the Action News 5 digital desk. As we mentioned earlier, we got a lot happening here this morning, a lot of great interviews. We're even speaking with a representative from the Mid-South Fair about what you can expect in the next 2 weeks with that fair returning here to the Mid-South. We're going to have that interview for you coming up in the next 60 seconds. Going to take a quick break, and we'll have that for you then. Hey there, can you hear me?
Testing one, testing one.
Yeah, can you hear me? All right, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Hello?
Hey there, can you hear me?
I can, yeah. I'm just trying to keep my speakers down low. I'll turn them up a bit.
All righty, you win the Patience Award today, so thanks so much for sticking around with us. We just had to take that live, but we are ready for you. We are about 24 seconds out. Does that work for you?
Sure.
All right, sounds good. All right, welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Taylor Tucker. We got a great interview lined up for you this morning. Of course, we're always planning ahead. If you're looking at your calendar, I got some important dates you need to mark down because guess what, guys? The Mid-South Fair is returning to the Lander Center, and we have John Frost, the director of Visit DeSoto County, joining us on the Digital Desk to tell us what we can expect that particular weekend when it comes back. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us today.
No, thank you so much for joining us. So we see the dates right behind you, September 25th through October 5th, the Mid-South Fair is joining. Are there any twists this year? What can people expect?
One thing that folks can expect at the fair this year is a quality, safe, fun family experience. We're on our second year with a new ride vendor from Kissel Entertainment, and they really do put together a quality event. So we're really happy to be partnered with them. Some other exciting things that have changed. One thing that we do each year with the fair is try to keep the entertainment diverse and keep it fresh. So this year on the attraction side of things, we have two different America's Got Talent contestants that are bringing their shows here. One is Puppy Dog Pals, so if you remember watching any of those acrobatic dogs, they'll be here. They're so cute and fun. We'll see if we can bring them into the studio as well at some point. Another thing that's coming out is going to be our music lineup. We have 2 different nights with Wolf Radio. We have a partnership for Latino Day as well, and we even have a gospel day. throw in a few different changes there. We'll have Memphis Wrestling out here. We'll have a Monday Night Football showing, so everybody can wear their jerseys, have a good time. And one of the things that is very, very new and something we partnered with a local trivia company. We're going to have an actual big trivia night set up at the main stage.
So it sounds like we have a little something for everyone coming, of course, for the kids, your parents, just the whole nine. So let's talk logistics to get people there. What should they know about parking and where they can get their tickets?
Well, let's discuss the elephant in the room there first. There is a massive construction zone here at the Lander Center. However, that is not going to impact anything with anyone's experience as far as parking. We do have a nice footprint of space around the building that allows us to accommodate that each and every year. Parking and arriving, the best ways to get here are always going to be off of Highway 51 or off of I-55. Either of those routes are going to bring you right here to the Church Road exit. We'll have a lot of folks out here to help guide you to parking, guide you through the traffic situations. As anything happens with major events, do want to ask that everyone gives us a little bit of grace and patience. We want you to have a great time, and we're going to do our level best to get you there and get you into the fairgrounds as quick as we can.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that expansion project at the Lander Center. But as you mentioned, John, don't let that scare you from coming, because it's still a lot of fun. You got places to park and to maneuver your way throughout that area. All right, was there anything you were prepared to say that I did not ask you today that you want our viewers to know?
Well, I would heavily encourage folks that want to come to the fair to buy their tickets online in advance. You have midsouthfair.com is our website. You can find all the attractions, all the live entertainment, all the performers. So hit midsouthfair.com on your phone or on your computer there. Get your tickets early. If you get your tickets early, you are saving right now $5 off of the gate prices. They will go to full price once we get to the opening day of the fair. So if you're planning on coming, you don't even have to pick a day. The tickets are good any day of the fair. So don't get yourself too twisted up trying to schedule everything out. Just if you're going to come, go ahead and grab your tickets now. We've got great music. We have country acts Ian Munsick. We have Cameron Marlowe. And a lot of local folks that are really going to help bring the energy and make it a fun event for everyone.
All right, September 25th through October 5th. Plenty of time to check out the Mid-South Fair, a long-standing tradition that we always look forward to. Again, this is John Frost, the Director of Visit DeSoto County, joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Thanks again so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you out here.
All righty, taking you outside this morning, a live look over Midtown Memphis here at 9:27, 81 degrees to kick off your Friday morning. Everything you need to know about the latest and greatest interviews is right here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Going to take a 60-second break, and we'll be right back after that.
Thanks for joining us here on the Action News 5 digital desk here on a Friday, the finally Friday edition of the weather forecast. Gotta let you know of a code orange here today. Of course, that means our air quality taking a bit of a hit. It's hot, it's dry, light winds under high pressure. That's going to lead to the air quality issues. So for those who may have breathing sensitivity, COPD, asthma, things of the sort, probably don't want to do anything strenuous outside as we go through the course of the day. And I'll give you a first alert. I think that this may continue just because our pattern doesn't really change all that much through the weekend. And possibly even into the early portions of next week. Temperatures on the up and up as we go through the course of the day. Temperatures by midday getting in the mid-90s, and there might be an isolated shower or storm to go along with it as well. Let's take a look at it with our first alert futurecast. And again, through the course of the morning, just the up and up towards the lower 90s. Start to see a few more clouds beginning to build into the area as we get closer to, say, noontime, 1 o'clock, and there may be 1 or 2 isolated showers drifting from north to south, similar to what we saw yesterday. Many high school football games will get off without a hitch here tonight, including for our game of the week for Friday Football Fever. Whitehaven Tigers going up against the Germantown Red Devils. Upper 80s by 7 o'clock this evening, easing our way down to the lower 80s by the end of the game. Tomorrow, the Memphis Tigers taking on the Troy Trojans and the Wiregrass of Southeast Alabama. 11 a.m. kickoff, 81 degrees there in Troy with a fair amount of sunshine on the way to the mid-80s through the end of the game. Back here at home, we've got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, and of course really all the way throughout the upcoming weekend here across the Mid-South. 95 our forecast high. Of course, Cooper Young Festival going on your Saturday. You know, going back into the years that I've been here at Action News 5, the first year was hot and humid. The second year was just humid. It rained a little bit during the course of the morning hours, and then to this year, it'll be hot, but not super humid. So it's not going to be the worst in the way of humidity across the area, but definitely you'll notice it'll be plenty hot here across the Mid-South. Football games across the region. Alcorn taking a trip up to Starkville, going up against the Mississippi State Bulldogs, 92 degrees there. 94 for the Ole Miss Rebels and the Razorbacks of Arkansas, clashing in an SEC battle there in Oxford. Also another SEC battle, Knoxville, Tennessee and Georgia, 86 degrees there. Another SEC battle will be the Vanderbilt Commodores and the South Carolina Gamecocks, 84 in Columbia, South Carolina. Valley takes a trip down to Southeastern Louisiana, going up against them in Hammond, Louisiana, 93. JSU and Tuskegee, 94 there in Jackson, Mississippi. UAPB will be at home as well, 97 degrees there in Pine Bluff, so plenty hot. TSU at home as well, 93 degrees in Nashville. And Iowa State Cyclones taking a road trip down to Jonesboro, Arkansas, 97 degrees there for the Red Wolves. Of course, big ridge of high pressure in control of our weather pattern, not just today, the next couple of days. That big ridge overhead. You see these trough axes, these little areas where it's kind of carved out. That's what we call an omega block. That means that there's not going to be a lot of shifting in the weather pattern in the next couple of days. So you see one here on the East Coast, see another one on the West Coast, and right in between is where we've got that big ridge of high pressure. It will not move all that much. It kind of just stays steady state, and because that will be part of our story as it moves through the weekend, right on top of us, that's when we'll probably see our bigger surge of heat. Now, keep in mind, I say a surge of heat. It's not going to be like what we saw a couple of weeks ago, where we're talking about feels like temperatures 110, 115 degrees. Actual air temperatures in the middle to upper 90s, not terribly far off the baseline is what you'll get for our feels like temperatures a couple degrees warmer. Our biggest issue over the next few days will be air quality, lack of rain, low humidity, and yes, while the low humidity helps us out in the heat realm, it is not going to help us out from the standpoint of fire weather danger. I think that that's going to continue to be a big story as well. Potential rainfall in the next 7 days, not much. And of course, the drought monitor came out yesterday. Severe drought. We watched it come in right here on the Action News 5 digital desk. Gave you that first alert that we were expanded into the severe drought. And based off of what we're seeing, not just in the short term, for longer term, likely through the end of the summer season, likely below average rainfall here across the Mid-South. And you notice there's not many opportunities going forward. Highs will be middle and upper 90s, low 60s and 70s the next couple of days. Mixture of clouds and sunshine. Next week, we might add in a few more clouds and maybe an isolated shower here or there as we get ready for hopefully a front to approach us by the time we head towards the the following weekend to maybe knock us back as this ridge finally begins to buckle. Will get us back closer to average, which is in the upper 80s here into the middle portion of September, hopefully by the end of next weekend.
Hey, Hyro, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. We are 23 seconds away, all right?
All right, gotcha.
Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. It's a Friday, so you know exactly what that means. We are speaking with our friends at La Prensa Latina about all the latest headlines and news happening here in the Mid-South. Right now, joining me on the Action News 5 Digital Desk is my friend Hyro. Happy Friday to you, Hyro.
Happy Friday, Taylor. I haven't seen you in a while, so it's a great Friday.
I know it's been quite a minute, so I'm excited to have you on the digital desk. It's always fun when we get to chat and have a lot of fun here.
For sure.
Yeah, so
For
let's
sure.
just go
Thank you.
ahead and hop right into it then. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this sports flyer. You know, we love talking sports here. So let's talk about this. What you got here for us?
Yeah, so Bolivia hasn't been, so we're talking World Cup, we're talking soccer or football as we call it here. Well, in Latin America and the rest of the world, but here we call it soccer.
Yeah.
But Bolivia is actually possibly on the way to the World Cup. They just beat Brazil 1-0, which is amazing. And now they have a chance to go to the playoff. Well, they're going to the playoffs to get a chance to go to the World Cup. They still got to beat an Asian team. There's another Asian teams that has to be played. Also, some African teams that has to be played. But they're on the way. They haven't been in Bolivia hasn't been in the World Cup since 1994 in the U.S. So we might be able to see them back because the World Cup's coming back to the USA. So, but we're excited for Bolivia to get a chance to be in the World Cup again.
And you can see, I'm going to put this flyer back up here because you can see just the excitement and the emotions from this particular wallpaper. Obviously, such a huge deal here, you know?
Yeah. And so I know that, soccer is such a big sport, especially representing a country. So there's a lot of tensions for sure, a lot of emotions.
A lot of emotions for sure. Speaking of emotions, let's switch gears now. Let's talk from sports to the arts here. What am I looking at?
So this is flamenco. So flamenco, it's actually called Tablao Flamenco. And so they're going to be at the Holloran Center on September 25th. As you can see there, they have a great shows full of color, dance, music. And not only is it going to stop there, they're actually going to do a day before on September 24th, they're going to have a workshop so you can actually get the experience, go in there and actually immerse yourself, and actually they're going to teach you how to dance flamenco. So maybe you should sign up, Taylor, go out there, have a bit of a,
Yeah, I gotta work on my little 1-2, Hyro. I don't know. I gotta do something.
This might be like more like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 real quick. So I don't know.
The pressure is on now because I really got to work on it. I like that.
Yeah, but it's something to see too, for sure.
Yeah, that is definitely a sight to see. Let's switch gears now. Brief me on this.
Yeah, so the cover is More United Than Ever, and coincidentally, that is our cover as far as like everything that has to do with immigration, everything that has to do with this whole political weather that's going on. And us as Latinos, we want to make sure that, hey, we're here to contribute to the United States. It's one of those things that we want to, we appreciate the United States for what it's given to the immigrant, and we also want to make sure that the United States see that we're not only, we're also here to contribute to the United States in the economy, in culture, and everything that we have to do. And coincidentally, like I said, it's more united than ever because we have an event called United Festival on this Sunday, which Taylor, you're invited. We're gonna light up the bridge with all these Latin American colors, with Mexico, Honduras, Salvador, Brazil, Ecuador. We have Puerto Rico. We have Brazil too. So we're actually bringing a lot of colors into this festival this year. We're gonna have tons of food from different places you can have it. So we'll have food, cultural dances. We're actually gonna have flamenco there as well. So we're gonna have flamenco. We're gonna have traditional dances from Mexico. I don't know if you saw last year. We also have like the Aztec dancers. We're gonna have samba, the Brazilinos. So like it's that Brazilian culture that comes into the river, and it's gonna be super nice because it's right on the riverside. We're gonna be at Beale Street Landing, and I can't wait to see it because we're gonna be on top of the Beale Street Landing this year, and just at that sunset and all those colors and the samba, it's gonna be good. We're gonna have the Mexican consulate come out and join us to also do a celebration for Mexico's Independence Day, which is on September 16th, which kind of kicks off also our Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah, that is going to be beautiful. You invited me, I believe it was last year, and I stopped by. I had a blast. I was certainly just kind of influenced, entertained, educated, the whole nine. So I am looking forward to that event. And this, again, is for the public. Everyone can come and attend. All right, so again, this is Jairo, keeping us in the know. Jairo, you always have us covered at La Prensa Latina. We've talked sports, arts, and, of course, the latest news and headlines. If someone wants to learn more, they want to brief themselves on these topics that we've discussed, where can they go to get that additional information?
Yeah, so right at your fingertips, you can find us at laprensalatina.com, on social media, of course, Facebook, Instagram, we all will see there. You can pick up, actually, if you're on our website, there's a distribution list, so if you don't have to drive around. But most of the times we're like, where Hispanic frequents the most, or even restaurants, so Mexican restaurants, the Memphis Public Library systems. Popular spots like the Farmers Market, so you can find us at Cordova Farmers Market, Winchester Farmers Market, and yeah, so I appreciate it, Taylor. I know that it's Friday. It's we have wonderful weather ahead of us right before the rain. I was looking at the forecast, so it's amazing. It's going to be a good weekend.
Certainly a good weekend for sure. We're getting that started right now, helping everyone kick off their weekend on the Action News 5 digital desk. Jairo, thanks so much for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anytime. All right, guys, taking you outside this morning. Live look over Midtown Memphis at 9:42, 81 degrees. Guys, you just can't beat that on a Friday, right? If you're headed out the door, safe travels. But if you're sticking around, stay put. We have some great live interviews lined up. Of course, we're still talking about the 17th annual Mark Walden 5K Walk and Run. And at 10:30, our friends at the Memphis Public Libraries are joining us to talk about the Teen Arts Fest. So keep it here, right here on the Action News 5 digital desk, taking a 60-second break. We'll be back after that.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. For more than 28 years, the Buckman Arts Center at St. Mary's School in East Memphis has been home to so many different performances and events. They have a new season about to get underway. And joining me now on the Action News 5 digital desk, I'm joined by Cindy Yonker. She is the director there at Buckman Arts Center. Cindy, good morning to you. So first off, tell me about Buckman Arts Center and what you are anticipating this season. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me and for this opportunity. We are so excited. Yes, we are heading into our 28th season. The Buckman Performing Arts Center is a fully functional performing arts center on the campus of St. Mary's School. St. Mary's is an Episcopal independent school that offers education for girls ages 2 to 18. But what makes St. Mary's so unique, lots of schools have theaters on their campus, but they open their doors to the community. So everything that we do welcomes anybody around the area to come and enjoy our shows. We have up to 10 main stage shows per year. We have international artists that come from all over the globe. This year we'll be welcoming the Soweto Gospel Choir from South Africa. We will be welcoming Cantrip from Scotland. We have something for everything. We have an incredible flamenco group, Flamenco Vivo Carlota Santana, that incorporates live music and dancing as well. It's very colorful and very engaging. We really kind of cross the world. And we have some wonderful familiar names as well, like Pure Prairie League will be here. That's going to be a huge crowd pleaser. We'll be opening with Leo Kotke. We just have a variety of artists that bring in an opportunity for you to engage with these really intimate performances. We also have a functioning art gallery. We have the Buckman Dance Conservatory that's here that serves over 200 dancers from around the community. We have about 21 different schools that attend. So basically everything after 3 o'clock is open to the greater community. Our doors fling wide open, and we welcome in some incredible audiences.
You really have some amazing different events across all kinds of different genres there, Cindy. Tell me what it takes to do that at St. Mary's School, and has it always been this kind of broad genre over the last 28 years?
Absolutely. So it takes a lot of careful planning and balancing of schedules. We partner a lot, obviously, with the school. So they're very kind to let us operate this program. We really try to balance our season and offer something that the audiences might be familiar with, coupled along with something that they may never have experienced before. For example, this year we're closing with a group called Omnium Circus, and they are an all-inclusive circus, meaning you might have somebody who does not have the use of their legs that is doing aerial work, or we definitely have sign language the whole time interpreting throughout the show. It's an able-bodied circus, so it's reimagining what you see in the circus theatrics and arts. So that's going to be a fun way to bring in new audiences. And they're a relatively new group. It's a big group, but it's going to be fun for people to experience that for the first time. And then we also have some people that, again, some artists that people are already familiar with. We're bringing back the Popovich Comedy Pet Theater, which is amazing. We're doing 2 performances. We don't want to be simple by calling it a cat circus. It's much more than that. They do an incredible job of creating these performance vignettes that are very engaging and funny. Many of our shows that we do, they're not geared towards children, but if you have a child in your life, the kid is going to enjoy it as well. If you don't have a kid in your life, you're going to have a fabulous date night or girls' night out. Buckman is, I neglected to point that out, we are only 288 seats, which makes us one of the smallest venues in Memphis, but truly one of the best. The furthest seat from the stage is less than 40 feet. So every single interaction that you have with these artists is sort of a once in a lifetime experience. It makes it that much more special to be there and to have these experiences where everything the artist says involves the audience. You can't help but interact with them, and it's so very special. So I like to say sometimes that we're the best kept secret in Memphis because we're less than 300 seats. That presents to me actually more opportunity than limitation. I think it's a lot of fun to be this size. You can try any genre and anything. If it doesn't work, you don't do it again. If you have success with it, then you keep going with it. In order to get the big headliner artists that we have to do a lot of route building. We kind of know our lot in life since we are smaller, so we work with agents who are bringing artists, say, from Nashville to Little Rock, for example, or through Kansas City down to Birmingham, and kind of you say, it's worth your while if you stop in Memphis. You'll have a great night's sleep and a wonderful time performing in our space. And we can do a Thursday night, we can do a Sunday night. We're flexible like that, and that's how we get a lot of the bigger names than we probably would get if we were just trying to bring artists in for the first time.
Yeah, the other issue when you have a venue with under 300 seats is the fact that you better get your tickets early because it's going to sell out. I mean, Pure Prairie League, I mean, that's a big name. So
we do not have a lot left of that. You are absolutely right.
Yeah, I would anticipate. So tell me how some of the girls that go to St. Mary's, how do they react to being there, seeing all these different kinds of genres right there on campus?
The girls at St. Mary's are the best, and they are busy, busy bodies, let me tell you. They don't have a lot of free time. So they do get to see the artists while they're here, and they sometimes get to interact. But for the most part, our greater audience comes from the community. We do have a series of educational outreach programs that we partner with the Shelby County schools for. Every artist that we bring, we want to share with the community as much as we can, free of charge. So we will be doing school shows with Omnium Circus, with Flamenco Vivo. If we can fit one in with Popovich, we will, and also with Soweto when they come in. So this year we'll be working with Doubletree Elementary, Southern Avenue Charter School, Cromwell Elementary. Brewster has reached out to us. We have some amazing partners. The Shelby County schools are such a great partner for us. Whenever we reach out to them, they just basically say, let me know how many buses and when. And we bring in so many kids, and it's just truly amazing to see them here. And they're so fun, and it's wonderful to watch sometimes their first experience and with a live performer and as an audience member.
So how can people get tickets, Cindy?
Visit BuckmanArtsCenter.com or call me at 901-537-1483. As you mentioned, because it is such an intimate little venue, things do sell out. Leo Kottke will probably come close to selling out. Pure Prairie League is definitely on its way. Klezmatics is another fabulous group we have coming in. They're one of the most famous klezmer groups in the world, Grammy winners. They're selling very well. That'll be in January. But visit our website at BuckmanArtsCenter.com. You can choose your own seat. Call that number. Again, we have such incredible assets that make it such an enjoyable night out, and that is our goal. We have free parking. We're located at the corner of Walnut Grove and Perkins Extended. Easy to get in, easy to get out, and there's so many great restaurants around here. Most of our artists perform without an intermission, and our shows typically start at 7. So you're talking about 90 minutes of incredible entertainment and a relaxing evening to see something that will absolutely expand your mind. And then you get to go and have a wonderful date night, girls' night, friend night out.
It sounds amazing. Cindy Yunker, director of the Buckman Arts Center at St. Mary's School in East Memphis. We appreciate your time. Congratulations on such a great season ahead with all the anticipation. We appreciate you coming on the digital desk and telling us about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Have a great day.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I want to show you this. This is a brand new book out, and it is from native Memphian Loretta McNary. And in it, there are all kinds of different uplifting, positive messages, like you are valued, you are needed, you are enough. And this book, Live Like You Believe, in just a few weeks, has inspired readers all the way from Florida to Dubai, sparking personal transformation, book club discussions, and women's retreats. I'm joined on the Action News 5 Digital Desk by Loretta herself. She is joining us to talk a little bit about this book. And Loretta, good morning to you. Tell me why you wrote this book.
Good morning, Andrew. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. The book actually wrote me. I thought I was just putting my thoughts down. I actually started 2 other books prior to this book and didn't want to edit because that meant I had to finish it and follow through. I wasn't quite ready, nor was God ready for those books to be released. So my uncle, Robert Shorter, he was admitted to the ICU in April. 4 days later, he died. But while he was in the ICU, the Lord gave me this vision that he was living while he was dying. He was well aware he was dying, but he was living. He was singing. He was talking to us. He was telling us to prepare everything. And it was sad and happiness at the same time. So I went home trying to digest it and just put those other 2 books aside and started writing this book. God gave me the term, Live Like You Believe. I wrote it in like 12 hours, 14 hours, trademarked the name, and here we are. Had it professionally edited, created the cover myself. My son and I decided that we would go with this, no picture, no anything, and here we are. Live Like You Believe, to tell people in the crushing, in the shrinking, you got to stop it. You are still loved. You're still valued. Everything that's within you, every dream you have, is still accessible and reachable. You just got to deal with your hurt and quit shoveling more hurt on top of hurt without dealing with it.
So, Loretta, a lot of times people write books about themselves or their life lessons. Who did you write this book for? And, we have thousands of people who watch each and every morning here on the Digital Desk. Who is it for out there, Loretta?
Initially, Andrew, it was for women who I knew were showing up day after day, being there for everybody, and going home and crying and in despair and sad. And then they get up in the morning and they repeat. What I found out by conversations and feedback, men are this book is resonating with them too. They're saying, that's my story. Loretta, how did you know? They take the book everywhere. It's been on airplanes, on beaches. It's in Australia now. It's in Japan now. Because once people read it, they identify with it, and then it becomes their anthem song as well. So I wrote it for me to heal, but the book ended up healing, countless other people as well.
So if a lot of times when people will write something, they can only put a small portion in the book, but the topic or the subject matter, they know much more than what they can fit in this book. Where did all this information come from? Where is this your life story? Is it your life lessons? How do you approach something like this kind of project?
Well, I knew I wanted to, it was therapy for me at first, right? I was writing my Queen Esther season, and the Lord turned it into something that I had to really be vulnerable and transparent, and others to help heal and initiate conversations about healing and shrinking and imposter syndrome and giving up on your dreams. So I wanted to make sure I told stories that were relevant. Like my story is the first chapter. And then there's a story of Queen Esther and how, she was taken from her home and she was put into a position to save other people. And she could literally be killed for it. And so I wanted to not like be killed for it, but I wanted to be in a position where I could help other people with my story and do something that moves the needle to peace and happiness and joy in a person's life right where they are today, without tons of accolades and money and people calling their name, but they got to have it themselves. And so I just started writing. And once the accolades, the comments start coming in, it had to be a conference so that people had a place to go for more and to really deal with this new version of who they are and who they want to be.
You know, a lot of people might ask, okay, Loretta, you know, it's a self-help book. You know, I see them all the time on the bookshelves. What makes yours different?
I don't call it a self-help book because that's the problem that got us here. We're trying to help ourselves individually, isolated. This is a book that creates community. Yes, I can relate to this. Yes, I'm performing inspiration. I'm performing like everything is okay. Everything is not okay. And this book gives you permission to not be okay, but not to stay there. You have to do the work. You have to heal. You have to rise, and you are called to lead, whether it's your family, on your job, in your church, or just yourself. And as you can see, that little baby right there, there's actually one of my not my grandbaby, but a cousin's cousin's baby. And so the baby was blessing the book too. So everybody who touches it, they receive some kind of energy from it, not being psycho blablo, but just it's special. It's not just your ordinary self-help book.
If you could give a reader maybe one takeaway from your book in a sentence, what would it be, Loretta?
Everything that you've ever gone through that shook you, broke you, caused you to smile, gave you joy, and then shook you and broke you again is all needed so that you are stronger, you're wiser, you yourself learn to love yourself so that you can rinse and repeat for somebody else, the next person that's broken that you'll meet. You can give them courage and inspiration.
All right, Loretta McNary, author of Live Like You Believe on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Congratulations on writing this book and all of your success. We appreciate your time, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you, Andrew, and the same to you. You're so incredibly amazing in our community. We appreciate you for telling these stories that can't be told without you, so thank you.
Well, I appreciate those comments, Loretta. Thank you very much.
Hi, doctor, can you hear me? Let's see, I think you have yourself muted. Why don't you unmute yourself? It's gonna be like a mute button down there. Do you see it? So let's see, the audio buttons, I think it says audio.
There we go. I tried to unmute on my picture.
It's fine. How are you doing today? Are you doing okay?
I'm well, thank you.
Alrighty, we are 20 seconds out and you'll be speaking to me, Taylor Tucker, all right?
Oh, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, Andrew's off today, so you got me. So
Oh!
Tucker.
Hey, Taylor.
All right.
You want my glasses on or my glasses off?
You look fabulous with them on and off, so it's on you, whichever one you want to do.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'll see you in just a few, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We are looking ahead to next weekend, a really big event coming up. It's the 17th annual Mark Walden 5K Walk and Run hosted by the Sickle Cell Foundation of Tennessee. Again, this big event is happening next Saturday, that's September 20th. So go ahead and mark your calendar because this particular event raises awareness and support for individuals and families affected by sickle cell disease. A really important conversation to have today. I am joined alongside our friend Dr. Patricia Adams Graves to talk with us about this event. Good morning to you, and how are you?
Well, good morning, and thank you for this opportunity.
No, we are so glad to have you here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. This is an event that's been happening for some years now. This is the 17th annual Mark Walden 5K Walk and Run. What can you tell us?
Well, the Sickle Cell Foundation of Tennessee is the largest advocacy and nonprofit that supports individuals living with sickle cell disease. And we provide social services, especially those that the regular providers cannot, execute, such as, unfortunately, burial support, because sickle cell disease is a genetic disease that affects mostly people of color, especially African Americans. And due to their condition, they have a difficulty just getting insurance. So we also provide, and we're the only ones, I think, in the nation that provides burial support, because they have a shortened life expectancy by 30 years compared to the general population. So therefore, I've been a provider for 30 years on the adult side, and I spent some time at St. Jude and, you know, rotated on the children's side. And I tell you, there are a lot of unmet needs for this population. And I think that support through the foundation is vital to their quality of life.
Yeah, and one way you guys get that support and you bring that awareness is with this walk and run, which is one of the several events that you guys host. It's called the Mark Walden 5K Walk Run. Tell me, who was Mark Walden? And let's talk about his legacy.
Well, you know, Mark Walden was one of the weathermen. And he was on, I think, channel 13.
Yeah, I was going to say, it wasn't 5.
Okay, it wasn't 5, but I think he was on 13. He lived with sickle cell, and sickle cell pretty much took him out. And it breaks our heart. So we have named the walk after him because he was a vital part of our community living with sickle cell. Matter of fact, his family from Florida comes up every year to participate in this 5K. And he left a wife and a young child behind. That child's now, you know, much older, but yeah, Mark, you know, was very vital to our community.
And leaves behind a legacy. This is the 17th annual Mark Walden Memorial Walk and Run. I'm going to put on the screen here just some of the footage that we have to keep people abreast about the information they need for this particular event. Now, who can participate, Patricia?
Now, pardon me, what did you say?
I said, who can participate in this walk?
Anybody. Anybody. Matter of fact, we usually carve out a 1 mile for individuals living with sickle cell because it's difficult for them to do 5Ks. There's only a handful that can, but anybody can come out. As a matter of fact, please come out. Anybody, young or old, can come out to participate in this 5K. You can walk, you could just stand around. We were going to have food trucks, so it's sort of like a 5K / festival. So you can come out and just party with us. We would love to see your happy faces.
You know, I think that definitely woke some people up here when you said just come out and just party with us, be in the midst, learn and fellowship. You can get the whole 9 here at the Walk Run that is happening next Saturday. That is September 20th. So go ahead and mark your calendar. Dr. Graves, was there anything else that you wanted to add today that you want to share about the Sickle Cell Foundation or this event or whatever you had in mind?
Well, I think that you've put the information up, and I'm one that believes that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And if you will just flash our flyers around and just put it up one more time, I think that's quite enough. And they can always visit us at sicklecelltn.org to get additional information.
All right, I'm putting that information up as you requested. Dr. Patricia Adams Graves, she is representing the Sickle Cell Foundation. They are hosting the 17th annual Mark Walden 5K Walk and Run. They want you to come out, participate. You can walk, you can run, you can stand, you can even skip. But more importantly, you can get out there and get educated and fellowship with all who want to learn about sickle cell. Again, this is Dr. Patricia Adams Graves joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. Did you want to put in your final 2 cents before I wrap things up here?
No, I think we're good. We've been doing it for 17 years. And of course, after being a practitioner, I'm loving being an advocate. This condition is in my family, so I take it seriously. So I am a Muhammad Ali on advocacy, and I'm in this fight. I'm going to stay in this fight.
I like how you put the fist up. We're fighting this, man. This is an important subject that you should educate yourself on. Again, the Sickle Cell Foundation hosting the 17th annual Mark Walden 5K Walk and Run. We've enjoyed having you on the digital desk. Looking forward to next Saturday, the big event. Of course, we'll check in with you then. All right, sounds good. Again, guys, that was Dr. Patricia Adam Graves joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. You're getting a live look over Midtown Memphis at 10:10. 87 degrees outside. Can't beat that for a Friday. Stick around. We have a lot more scheduled for you on the Action News 5 digital desk. We are speaking with our friends at the Memphis Public Libraries. They're having a Teen Arts Fest. You don't want to miss that. Stay with us. We'll be back. All right, thanks so much. You're good to go.
I am joined on the Action News 5 digital desk by Maureen Frazier. She is the mayor in the town of Collierville, joining us now to talk about what's happening in Collierville. And Maureen, I understand there's all kinds of different news, various events, various things that are happening, changes to ordinances. Tell me where you want to begin. Good morning.
Good morning. It's always a good day in Collierville. And yes, we have been busy. We have been working on discussions for many, many months, actually going back several years, regarding an expansion of our Collierville Library. That is finally going to be taking place. There's still a lot more planning to be done, but we're expanding the children's area, the young adult area, meeting spaces, and a lot of new technology and meeting space. So it'll be a great asset to our town and for everyone in the town of Collierville. We also have been.
I'm sorry, continue.
Yes, we also amended an ordinance regarding beer in the town, and they go back into the 1960s. So we're getting with the times on that, but we're also going to have it maintain our safe community. And thirdly, we have a 2050 plan that we've been working on to see what the citizens want Collierville to look like in the year 2050. So the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, during a retreat, we have appointed our steering committee. So there'll be a lot of new information and a lot of opportunities for involvement with the community and focus groups.
Thank you for all of that. I understand, and I know that library expansion has been in the works now for quite some time, or at least there's been proposals out there. The beer ordinance, what was the issue? Because for some reason on social media, that seemed to gain a lot of fanfare. There was a lot of people talking about it.
There was, we had some really antiquated laws in Collierville, and through the years we've made some changes, but this was a total analysis of everything in our beer ordinance. And, we had a law in our books that said you could not dance where they serve alcohol or where they played music or there was a band. Well, we have a lot of restaurants in Collierville that do have bands that do serve alcohol. And people have been dancing. So people have been breaking the law for many, many years. So we're getting up with the times. We still, like I mentioned, we didn't open it up to anything that will be what I consider crazy. It's still Collierville. We still want to be a safe community, but we want to be able to be within the law, but also to provide businesses an opportunity to conduct their business. We did not get the Top Golf to locate into Collierville. And it may be because of our ordinances. We had an ordinance in place that you could not have simulators or video games where alcohol is served. So I don't know if Topgolf would have chosen Collierville had that been changed, but this opens an opportunity for businesses that can come to Collierville.
Got it. Thank you for the deep dive on that. I appreciate that, and I think most people understand the issue here. Let's talk about some of the issues that are coming in the month of September, and let's begin with the Fantastics at Herald Theater. What is that, and tell me what's happening?
Yes. Yes, the Collierville Arts Council is doing our next play. It's The Fantastics. It's a beautiful musical. It'll be the weekends of September 12th and 19th. We also, the Collierville Arts Council sponsors Arts in the Alley. It's a very unique event. I can't tell you how many years this has been going on, but it's in the back alley. It's in an area that normally people don't go to. There's, it's not the prettiest, but that night it's beautiful. They hang lights. There's entertainment, there's beverages, there's lots of great food from local restaurants. So that will be on Thursday, the 25th of September. And they start at 6:30 and it goes to 9:01, which I think is a very unique time for that. And it is a fundraiser for the Collierville Arts Council, who is a nonprofit that works with the arts and the theater in our community. And it'll be fun. You need to come, Andrew.
Yeah, I do. As long as it works with my sleep schedule, I think I'm golden. So my sleep schedule is very challenging at times. Tell me about Carriage Crossing and the Carriage Cookout.
Yes, the Memphis in May Barbecue is hosting, along with Carriage Crossing, a barbecue event, a cookout, and it'll be held on September 27th. So there's a lot of great, the weather has finally broken. It's beautiful outside, and that should be a great event for Collierville. Everybody loves barbecue.
Oh my gosh, of course. In our area, there's no question about it, and that looks great. And then there's another thing that I think is just kind of a reoccurring annual basis. This classic car show that's on the way.
It is. That is a wonderful partnership between the Collierville Education Foundation, Landers Ford, and Central Church, along with the police department. And people can enter their cars. It's at parking lot of Central Church, and all the money raised goes to the Collierville Education Foundation. And that too. And one of the first phone calls I received when I was sworn in as our new mayor back in December was an invitation for the car show to make sure that I had the Mayor's Choice Award. I've never judged a car show before, so we need some really, really good cars out there so I can pick the winner.
Exactly. Anything else before we let you go, Maureen? This has been great. You've hit on a number of different topics.
No, everything is great. Come visit us in Collierville. We'd love to have you.
All right, Maureen Frazier, the mayor of Collierville, on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Thanks so very much for joining us, as you do about once a month. We appreciate your time. Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Shannon Miller is one of the most decorated gymnasts in Olympic history, a 7-time gold medalist for the Olympics, and so many people remember her competing on that international stage. She inspired so many young athletes of a new generation, but at age 33, she had a new challenge. In fact, probably her toughest routine yet, and that was battling ovarian cancer. Joining me on the Action News 5 Digital Desk, I have the pleasure to bring in Shannon Miller. And also Dr. David O'Malley. He is a gynecologic oncologist with Ohio State University's Comprehensive Cancer Center, joining us on the digital desk. And Shannon, let me start with you. I appreciate you coming on to talk about a very personal battle with ovarian cancer. So many people remember you as shining brightly on the international stage. Take us through the cancer diagnosis and the kind of strength and resiliency you needed in order to combat and overcome the cancer. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on. the Olympic journey has been amazing, but I would say the cancer fight has been the toughest thing I've ever had to do. I was diagnosed in early 2011 when I woke up from surgery to find out that I had a rare form of ovarian cancer, then went through chemotherapy, and really became an advocate for others in the cancer community, knowing that I didn't necessarily know what questions to ask. I completely missed the signs and symptoms of ovarian cancer. And so I wanted to be able to use my voice to help others. And you talk about strength, and I think talking with survivors, we realize that you never know how strong you can be until you just have to. It's that inner strength that helps you take that next forward step.
Tell me about that. So, you overcome ovarian cancer. What do you want women to know about their own health? Because based upon everything I've seen, all the research suggests the earlier you can find cancer, if it's in fact there, it's diagnosed, the better it is.
Absolutely. Early detection saves lives, leads to better outcomes. And what I want women to know is that there is no routine test for ovarian cancer. We have to listen to our bodies and speak up when something doesn't feel right, advocate for ourselves. It's one of the reasons why we're here in partnership with AbbVie to encourage women with ovarian cancer to ask about all of the tools in the tool chest, including biomarker testing, which is so important to unlocking this personalized care for specific types of ovarian cancer. And it's just important to know the information so that you can go in and ask those questions.
Thank you, Shannon. Dr. O'Malley, over to you. I want to talk to you about biomarker testing. I understand it's so important for patients with ovarian cancer. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, there's lots of different biomarkers. There's the gene biomarkers, and that's in all of our cells, that's in all of our tissue. We have to test those. But now what we also test is the tissue, is the cancer, those cells, looking for markers on those cells. And by identifying those unique biomarkers, we're able to then target or personalize the therapy for patients with cancer, specifically ovarian cancer in this instance.
Now, I understand that ovarian cancer is one of the deadliest forms of gynecologic cancer. Tell me specifically on how women are able to get biomarker testing.
I think, unfortunately, you really nailed it in that we have the deadliest GYN cancer. And unfortunately, most patients are diagnosed with advanced stages. And even though we're doing a much better job of curing people, still 70% of patients recur. So what's the best way? Talk to your healthcare provider. Talk to the whole healthcare team. There are now ways that we can send your tissue out, and as well as your blood or saliva, to get tested. So they can send it out. Many of our centers are actually doing these tests in-house now. So if you have ovarian cancer or a family member has ovarian cancer, make sure you're asking your healthcare provider, have I had these biomarkers? And if not, I want to get them done.
David, thank you. Shannon, final question to you. What message do you have for women perhaps going through a diagnosis like ovarian cancer or any other type of cancer or, struggle, a significant struggle, a challenge? What kind of message do you have there for them, Shannon?
Well, thank you. It's such a great question. I want anyone going through a challenge, whether it's a cancer diagnosis or anything else, know that you do not need to go through this fight alone. There's always a team and a community there ready to support you. So find that team, ask questions, and know that there is strength in seeking that support. And then if you are an ovarian cancer survivor and you want more information about biomarker testing, you can visit biomarkerboost.com.
Okay, Shannon Miller, David O'Malley, we really appreciate you joining us on the Digital Desk. Shannon, thanks for opening up to help others out there, perhaps going through their own struggles, their own challenges on this journey. And David, great information as well. We appreciate you both coming on the Digital Desk. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk here on a Friday, the finally Friday edition of the weather forecast. Gotta let you know of a code orange here today. Of course, that means our air quality taking a bit of a hit. It's hot, it's dry, light winds under high pressure. That's going to lead to the air quality issues. So for those who may have breathing sensitivity, COPD, asthma, things of the sort, probably don't want to do anything strenuous outside as we go through the course of the day. And I'll give you a first alert. I think that this may continue just because our pattern doesn't really change all that much through the weekend. And possibly even into the early portions of next week. Temperatures on the up and up as we go through the course of the day. Temperatures by midday getting in the mid-90s, and there might be an isolated shower or storm to go along with it as well. Let's take a look at it with our first alert futurecast. And again, through the course of the morning, just the up and up towards the lower 90s. Start to see a few more clouds beginning to build into the area as we get closer to, say, noontime, 1 o'clock, and there may be one or two isolated showers drifting from north to south, similar to what we saw yesterday. Many high school football games will get off without a hitch here tonight, including for our game of the week for Friday Football Fever. Whitehaven Tigers going up against the Germantown Red Devils. Upper 80s by 7 o'clock this evening, easing our way down to the lower 80s by the end of the game. Tomorrow, the Memphis Tigers taking on the Troy Trojans in the Wiregrass of Southeast Alabama. 11 a.m. kickoff, 81 degrees there in Troy with a fair amount of sunshine on the way to the mid-80s through the end of the game. Back here at home, we've got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, and of course really all the way throughout the upcoming weekend here across the Mid-South. 95 our forecast high. Of course, Cooper Young Festival going on your Saturday. You know, going back into the years that I've been here at Action News 5, the first year was hot and humid. The second year was just humid. It rained a little bit during the course of the morning hours. And then To this year, it'll be hot, but not super humid. So it's not going to be the worst in the way of humidity across the area, but definitely you'll notice it'll be plenty hot here across the Mid-South. Football games across the region. Alcorn taking a trip up to Starkville, going up against the Mississippi State Bulldogs, 92 degrees there. 94 for the Ole Miss Rebels and the Razorbacks of Arkansas clashing in an SEC battle there in Oxford. Also another SEC battle, Knoxville, Tennessee and Georgia, 86 degrees there. Another SEC battle will be the Vanderbilt Commodores and the South Carolina Gamecocks, 84 in Columbia, South Carolina. Valley takes a trip down to Southeastern Louisiana, going up against them in Hammond, Louisiana, 93. JSU and Tuskegee, 94 there in Jackson, Mississippi. UAPB will be at home as well, 97 degrees there in Pine Bluff, so plenty hot. TSU at home as well, 93 degrees in Nashville. And Iowa State Cyclones taking a road trip down to Jonesboro, Arkansas, 97 degrees there for the Red Wolves. Of course, big ridge of high pressure and control of our weather pattern, not just today, the next couple of days. That big ridge overhead. You see these trough axes, these little areas where it's kind of carved out. That's what we call an omega block. That means that there's not going to be a lot of shifting in the weather pattern in the next couple of days. So you see one here on the East Coast, see another one on the West Coast, and right in between is where we've got that big ridge of high pressure. It will not move all that much. It kind of just stays steady state, and because that will be part of our story as it moves through the weekend, right on top of us, that's when we'll probably see our bigger surge of heat. Now, keep in mind, I say a surge of heat. It's not going to be like what we saw a couple of weeks ago, where we're talking about feels like temperatures 110, 115 degrees. Actual air temperatures in the middle to upper 90s, not terribly far off the baseline is what you'll get for our feels like temperatures a couple degrees warmer. Our biggest issue over the next few days will be air quality, lack of rain, low humidity, and yes, while the low humidity helps us out in the heat realm, it is not going to help us out from the standpoint of fire weather danger. I think that that's going to continue to be a big story as well. Potential rainfall in the next 7 days, not much. And of course, the drought monitor came out yesterday. Severe drought. We watched it come in right here on the Action News 5 digital desk. Gave you that first alert that we were expanded into the severe drought. And based off of what we're seeing, not just in the short term, for longer term, likely through the end of the summer season, likely below average rainfall here across the Mid-South. And you notice there's not many opportunities going forward. Highs will be middle and upper 90s, lows 60s and 70s the next couple of days. Mixture of clouds and sunshine. Next week, we might add in a few more clouds and maybe an isolated shower here or there as we get ready for hopefully a front to approach us by the time we head towards the following weekend to maybe knock us back as this ridge finally begins to buckle. Will get us back closer to average, which is in the upper 80s here into the middle portion of September, hopefully by the end of next weekend.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Love checking in with our friends at Memphis Botanic Garden. Always such a gem. The 96 acres of beauty. We got Jenna Harris joining us on the Digital Desk to talk about what's happening. They always have amazing events throughout the year. Good morning, Jenna. Where are you? It looks beautiful out there.
I know, isn't this gorgeous? Good morning. Yeah, we're here at the Botanic Garden. This is in our Four Seasons garden. So we know in Memphis, this is kind of a fake fall we've got feeling today, but we're all really enjoying it. But we still have all of our tropical plants out here that you can enjoy for a few more weeks. We know here in Memphis, it's going to get hot again. So all these tropical plants are just really thriving right now in this heat. And it looks beautiful all throughout the garden. But yeah, we're getting ready for our fall season with our food truck garden parties that are going to be kicking back off again in September. We take those hot months off and give everybody a break, but we're ready to bring it back, and hopefully this weather is going to stick with us as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I remember the food truck garden parties. Those are always a well-attended event, and I'm with you. I hope that this weather continues, although we know, in this false fall, fake fall, whatever, the Dante's Inferno is the next season.
Oh yeah, we're ready for it again. But it's always a beautiful time here at the garden. We have our food truck parties. They start at 5 o'clock and go until 8 o'clock. So even if it's a little warm when you get here, usually by the time the band is going and you've got your food and everything, it's starting to cool down, and we're getting that beautiful Memphis sunset and enjoying the alfresco weather. So September is going to be a really fun one to come to. That's going to be on September the 10th, and we're going to have Jack and the Fat Man is going to be our band. We'll have 6 different local food trucks. We've even got a cotton candy vendor coming this time for the kids, and there's going to be tons of kids here because we're bringing back the Children's Entrepreneur Market. So it's kind of like a food truck festival feel where the kids will be set up doing their farmers market wares, all things that the kids have made. They do all of the marketing, they do all of their own setup, and they're here to show what they can do, sell their wares, and kind of get a taste at what it's like to be in business. And so this is a perfect setting for them. Everybody's having a great time. They like to stroll around. You can start doing that early Christmas shopping in September for that one. So we're really excited to have them back this year.
That's fantastic. I love that idea with the student entrepreneurship stuff. I think that's fantastic. So that's September 10th, and I understand you have one the following month as well.
Yeah, in October, we'll be coming back on October the 8th. We'll have one of our favorite bands that's been with us for a long time, Short in the Sleeves. You see them all around town playing. They play, some old school music, do lots of fun covers. So they're a really fun band to come and enjoy. And hopefully by October 8th, we know we'll have that fall weather kick in. And again, we'll have a lot of our favorite food trucks that'll be here. Every time we're here, we also have the kids' lawn games out. So we put out the cornhole and the big parachute for the kids to play around in. So it's really just a lot of fun between the games that are set out for the kids and the bands that are playing. It's just a really fun family time where, mom and dad don't have to cook that night. You can come out, grab your food, have a great time playing with your kids in the great outdoors. We even have a bar set up where if you want to go over, grab a drink and just sit back and enjoy the bands. There's just always something fun to do. And again, we're 96 acres. So after you've had your food and you want to go explore the rest of the garden, it's a great season to come out and do that.
It sounds like it. It sounds amazing. Before we let you go, let's talk about the website that has all that information for our viewers out there, Jenna.
Yeah, for all of our events that are coming up, you can go to our website, membg.org. And again, the food truck parties, those are free with garden admission. So if you're a member of the garden, it's a free night to come out. If you're not a member, think about joining because there's always something fun going on.
Always something fun, and it's always gorgeous down there at Memphis Botanic Garden. All right, back here in the Action News 5 Digital Desk, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has launched a brand new campaign I want to tell you about. This campaign is to help educate youth, prevent substance abuse, and combat overdose deaths. In fact, this campaign, it's called Free Mind, provides information and resources to youth between the ages of 12 to 17 and their parents and caregivers about substance abuse, mental health, and the connection between the two. Joining me now on the Action News 5 digital desk, I am joined by Dr. Grant Baldwin. He is the director of the CDC Division of Overdose Prevention. And Grant, tell me about some of the reasons behind this campaign and how prevalent is substance abuse and mental health linked. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Pleasure to be here. So as our teens experience stress, anxiety, worry, and even bouts of depression, we need to make sure that they're turning away from substance use and turning towards healthy coping. We're in the midst of a mental health crisis. We know that 4 in 10 American high schoolers report persistent feelings of sadness and hopelessness lasting for over a couple of weeks, and 1 in 5 have reported contemplating suicide. And there's real consequences if you do use substances in the here and now and long term. In the here and now, we all are aware of the impact of fentanyl. Fentanyl is widely available and laced into counterfeit pills, and the use of substances that contain fentanyl can be lethal on a single use. And long term, we know that substance use initiation in the teen years can lead to problematic use and even addiction in adulthood, as well as a range of other health problems.
So tell me, what are the warning signs, Grant, when it comes to this type of abuse, that mental wellness and drug abuse or substance abuse that is so, it seems to be so prevalent these days? What are the warning signs for parents out there?
Yeah, I'm a parent myself, and we all know our teens the best. So you should look for things like change in mood, unusual irritability. Maybe they're more withdrawn than they usually are. Once they're back in school, maybe their school performance changes, sudden weight loss or weight gain. All of these things are signs that our teens are struggling with their mental health. And we need to set up as parents a kind of a judgment-free zone to have open-ended, crucial conversations with them in ways that they can both feel our unconditional love and safe, and long-term for us to be able to connect them to a licensed professional counselor or social worker, or if necessary, to even call a crisis line like 988.
I'm a parent as well, Grant. I mean, is it the phones? Is it all the screen time? I mean, what's causing it? Do we know?
Yeah, it's a combination of things, but you flagged a couple of things that are absolutely a part of it. It's some of the social isolation that came out of the pandemic, but as well as the increased amount of time on our phones and social media and the impact that has on the mental health of our teens.
So let's talk about this Free Mind campaign that's going on. How can we all get involved, and how can we help the current situation? Because it's at crisis level, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, so that's one of the main reasons we developed Free Mind. So for parents and caregivers, we have fact sheets and conversation starters to begin to have some of the crucial conversations that we spoke about. For teens themselves, it's a campaign focused on empowerment and personal agency. Teens are really the captains of their own ship, if you will. The goal here is for teens to understand that the risks of substance use on brain development, but more importantly, that it's okay to not be okay, and to reach out to a parent or caregiver to ask for help, because they are in a position to make some of those connections to get you the help you need. You can go to cdc.gov/free mind for more information. For teens, it includes an interactive gaming app, a graphic novel, a bunch of things that are kind of teen speak, if you will. Again, folks should check out that website for more information about how they can make sure that their teens' mental health is okay and to set themselves up for success this school year.
Give us the website one more time, Grant.
Yeah, again, it's cdc.gov/free mind.
All right, Dr. Grant Baldwin with the CDC Overdose Prevention Division. We appreciate your time on the digital desk. Thank you for spelling out this new campaign, Free Mind, that we desperately need to help our youth out there. Thanks for your time on the digital desk.
Alrighty, thanks so much, Andrew. The time now is 10:44. I'm Taylor Tucker in for Andrew Douglas. Another great interview lined up for you today. We are speaking with our friends at the Memphis Public Libraries. They have a really great event coming up. It's the annual Teen Arts Fest exhibition. It's exactly how it sounds. We have raw talent on display, and you're going to be able to experience that if you decide to come out and support our teens. Joining us now on the Action News 5 digital desk is Nakia Armstrong. She's a teen services coordinator with Memphis Public Libraries. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us here. So this is obviously a really great event for some of our viewers who are just now hearing about it. Tell us about it. What can they expect?
Well, this is an incredible opportunity for young artists, for teen artists across the Mid-South to be celebrated. In this exhibition, our goal is to promote innovative programming and allow teens a creative space to express themselves. This is a perfect example of what we do at the library every day. I'm excited to have artists from all over the city come out and express themselves in this wonderful exhibition.
I love that. I'm going to go ahead and put up that flyer so everyone can see that and put down that information. This is next Saturday, I believe, September 20th at 11 a.m., the Teen Arts Fest. Kind of elaborate on how this particular festival, I mean, it just really builds a stronger, artistic community.
Yes, this is vital. It's so important for teens to have this space, a welcoming, safe space to come. But like you said, it also adds to building a connected network of community art.
Yeah, I love when I was just reading through some of the information, they mentioned how this exhibition is more than just a display. It's a testament to the power of being able to express yourself through art and celebrate the next generation of creative minds. So let's get people there. They have the flyer here with the information. Who can come? Is there anything they need to know ahead of September 20th?
It's free to all. It's open to all. We want everyone to come out and just to show up and show support for our teens. It's important for them to see that we're present and we're motivating them, but also it's an opportunity for them to sell their art, and we're excited about that. It's a nerve-wracking experience for young artists to be vulnerable and show their art for the public on a first-time basis. So by showing up and showing our support, and then financially showing our support by purchasing some of their art, it really goes a long way with encouraging our youth.
That's huge. I know the kids would love that, just to be able to put their art on display and to make a little cash from that as well. Is this the first time? Is this the first time for this event, or is this an annual event?
This is an annual event. We do this every single year. It's sponsored by the Friends of the Library. They generously donate funds to make this happen every year. Some of our sales proceeds go back to the Friends of the Library, so we're excited about that. So actually, by coming out to support this event, you're supporting youth, but you're also supporting the Friends of the Memphis Public Library. So we couldn't be more excited about that.
I love that. The Teen Arts Fest coming September 20th at 11 a.m. Mark your calendar. Get out your wallets. Go support these kids who are really just putting their work on display in front of the 901. Well, Miss Armstrong, it's been such a pleasure having you on the digital desk. Before we let you go, was there anything you wanted to add that we did not ask you today?
No, just come out and show up. Show up and support our local art. Our local teen community, we need the support right now. So just come and show up. We'll have food trucks. We'll have live musical performances. We'll have a DJ. We have a keynote address. Our Director of Cultural Economic History, DeMarcus Suggs, will be our keynote speaker for the day. We'll have tons of activities, face painting, henna artists, spoken word performances. It's going to be a fun time.
Sounds like a party. Okay, that is Nakia Armstrong joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk. I'm going to put that flyer up one more time so you can get it and mark it down on your calendar. The Teen Arts Fest, September 20th at 11 a.m. Thanks so much, Nakia. Enjoy the rest of your Friday.
Thank you.
All righty, guys. We're going to switch gears here and give you a live look over Midtown Memphis. It is 10:49, 87 degrees outside. A lovely start to your Friday morning, and there's just so much planned for this weekend. You know, we have the Cooper Young Festival, but if you want to get out the door today, maybe you are a sports person. Remember, we got that football showdown, Germantown versus Whitehaven. That game at 7 o'clock tonight. You definitely want to check that one out. All right, we're going to keep things rolling on the Action News 5 digital desk with another interview.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Action News 5 digital desk. Well, if you are a fan of Yacht Rock Radio, there are people that I know love listening to Yacht Rock Radio, then you are going to love my next guest. There is a band coming to Minglewood in just a few days, and they are going to put on the kind of music that I know all you Yacht Rock fans will like. I am joined right now on the Action News 5 digital desk by Rob Jones. He is part of the Yachtly crew that's going to be playing at Minglewood Hall in just a few days. Rob Jones, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. You hear me?
I sure can. You sound great. So tell us about your shows, what they're like, and the kind of music you guys play.
Well, our show is pretty much compromised of the greatest soft rock hits of the 70s and 80s, the late 70s, early 80s. You'll hear songs performed by Yachtly Crew, made famous by Christopher Cross, Hall & Oates, Ambrosia. You'll hear songs like the Pina Colada song, a lot of favorites, a lot of stuff that you grew up to, or that maybe you even knew from your parents' playlist. Brings back a lot of memories for a lot of people. And of course, we have our own original music as well. One of our new single, Pain of Losing You, is actually number 20 right now on the Billboard AC charts. So we're really proud of that as well.
That's awesome. So why do you think this type of soft rock is so popular to this day?
Well, I think originally, like our audience was a little bit older when we started in 2017, and I think there's just there's something about the music that's just feel good, and you hear these songs sometimes, and you remember where you were, what you were doing. You remember the cassette that you owned, that you played until it wore out. For older generations, they remember the vinyl, which has obviously made a great comeback. But I just there's some, the way the music is created, it's timeless. It's timeless music. You don't really hear a lot of that even today, And then there's a positive vibe about the whole thing as well. I mean, our show is very energetic too. We're not just standing there looking at our shoelaces. We're performing the songs to the level that they need to be performed with, and also putting on a little bit of choreography, a little bit of fun with the show, and it really brings people together. I mean, people that come to our shows aren't worried about politics or their finances. They get a couple of hours out of their life where they get to enjoy everything and not think about any of the world's problems.
You might be onto something, Rob. I mean, I of course remember the hits from back in the day, but my daughter, who's in her early 20s, she loves Yacht Rock Radio, and
yeah.
You're right. There is kind of a positive aspect to it, a happiness glow, if you will. Is that what you see sometimes in your concerts? Maybe multiple generations there, just having a good time.
We do, actually, and like I said, our audience was a little bit older when we started the band, and as the years have gone by, we're starting to see younger generations come and enjoy the music as well. And I have a daughter that's 19 years old, and 6 years ago, she would come to me and say, "Hey, Dad, have you ever heard this song?" And it would be like, the Pina Colada song or "Break My Stride," and I of course I know that song. I play that song in my show. And I said, "How do you know this song?" And she said, "Oh, it's trending on TikTok. Some of these songs are making comebacks on social media." I don't know if you remember, there was a guy riding his skateboard down the street to Fleetwood Mac's Dreams, and he was drinking, I think it was like cranberry juice or something, and that trended, and it got millions and millions of views, and that brought that song back up on the charts, after 40 something years.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so you're at Minglewood Hall in Memphis, September 16th. Tell us what the audience can expect.
Again, we're just a very fun, high-energy show. This is our first time at Minglewood Hall in Memphis, so we're really looking forward to it. People that come to our shows, sometimes they don't know what to expect, and when they leave, they're honestly floored, and they have so much fun that when they come back the next time, and I see this everywhere, they come back the next time, they bring a few more friends to show them how much fun they had. It's really fun, high-energy, feel-good music.
Fantastic. Rob Jones, I appreciate it. Again, you are playing at Minglewood Hall September 16th in Memphis. Should
Yes,
be
sir.
a great time. Listen, I appreciate you coming on the Digital Desk and telling me how all this came about. Good luck when you come to Memphis. We appreciate your time and have a great time in Minglewood.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your day.
Alrighty, that wraps it up for us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We're going to run it all back on Monday. You know, we go from 7 to 11 each and every weekday, Monday through Friday, 7 to 11. Put us on your calendar and join us again Monday. We'll see you and enjoy the rest of your weekend.